Hello. 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 Let me quit on this. Why is this intro music always so loud? Anyway, hi. Hi, hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Ah, you can feel the sadness in the stream title. You don't say. You don't say. I cannot access my puzzles. It's so mean. The game hates me. It really hates me. It hates me. It doesn't want to give me my puzzles. Guess we have to do a trial first. Last time we streamed, people turned gold. 3 months ago, the alchemist that lived in this house was murdered, and now we've got a situation of our own. There on the floor in front of a terrified Maya was the professor, now completely made of gold. The dream of every alchemist. What the heck is going on? I thought the professor was supposed to be meeting with the storyteller. And to make matters worse, now Maya is accused of being a witch. Burn the witch! More puzzles after the trial. I mean, that is true, but the trials are always so long. They're so long.
The trial of Maya Fey shall now begin, as scheduled.
I thought it was pronounced scheduled, but okay.
Knights of the court, are you ready to cross your swords of justice?
Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum always has his sword ready for the work of justice.
Defense ready, Your Honor. At this stage, I just gotta give it all I've got.
It would appear the defender has thrown down the gauntlet, Sir Barnum. Now, before we begin, may I have a word with you, defender?
Yes, Your Honor.
Last time we met, you stood in this court
Schedule.
as an apprentice.
Yes, schedule, exactly. Thank you, Cecilia. I was correct.
In all honesty, when I saw you for the first time, I thought to myself, a baker should stick to bread baking.
I mean, he wasn't very good at baking, was he?
Is that so? What a fine first impression I made.
However, today you are not merely some befuddled maker of sweet buns. I'm obliged to fully recognize you as a knight of law and justice, on par with Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum.
Ooh. Barnum, Barnum.
Now may your duel begin. Fight bravely and expose the truth behind this heinous crime.
For a second I thought he was going to say fight to the death. But he did not say that.
All right, we're all counting on you, Inquisitor Barnum.
I knew she was a witch as soon as I laid my eyes on her. She's got witch written all over her. Why not put the baker on trial? Bake the baker, I say!
Bake the baker. Barnum, Barnum, Barnum.
They treat him like some sort of celebrity.
He may be adored by the crowds, but when he pointed his sword my way, you managed to shield me from his accusations.
Bake the baker. Make bread rolls out of the baker.
Maya clearly isn't a witch, so surely your victory is certain.
Thank you for believing in me, Espella.
Espella Cantabella. I have given you leave to come to this trial today. However, that does not mean that the charges against you have been dropped. Rather than worry about others, you should consider your own situation.
Thank you for granting me your permission, Inquisitor.
Aww. Cute. Oh, now it's over? Okay. Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your opening statement. As you wish, my lord. As usual, let us commence this trial by first recounting the events, if it pleases you, Sir Blue Knight. As, you wish, Inquisitor. Still can't get used to this terminology. This heinous crime occurred in the residence of the late Newton Belduke, the alchemist. Here is the sketched plan of his residence. Burn the witch! He has a magic circle, he's a witch! This room of a somewhat questionable nature is the alchemist's study, in which the incident took place. The only ones present at the moment of the crime were the accused and the victim, no one else. The witnesses who arrived at the scene seconds later have indicated where they found the accused and the victim. Very well, the sketch is accepted as evidence. The accused took Sir Layton's life with the most cruel of magic. A living man, 1 second, a golden statue the next. Such wickedness. Magic that turns things into gold? Sure, why not? Several townspeople rushed to the room and paid witness to the horror of this magic. The accused has been captured and charged. Goodness, that is terrifying. Rumors have reached me that the victim was a most scintillating man. I'm not quite certain whether it was prior to or after. But incidentally, was this Sir Layton not the same headmaker who attended our previous trial? No, he wasn't a headmaker. Bizarre as it is. Sir Layton's profession and origin remain unknown. He was a stranger in the city, that is all we know. And you, sir, his acquaintance, you are an unusual presence in our city yourself. Today's case certainly is peculiar. And that is not the last of the peculiarities, my lord. The alchemist's study has been the scene of another strange incident in the past. Ah yes, I remember it as if it were yesterday. The mysterious death of Newton Belduke himself. Indeed, my lord. Regrettably, the only case of witchcraft still to remain unsolved in our fair city. The witch may have escaped her punishment back then. But perhaps today is the day on which both these mysterious crimes shall be solved. Well, if you say so. What? What are you implying? Patience. You will know soon enough, Sir Suddenly Pale Blue Knight. How interesting. It seems that the Inquisition have something up their sleeve. Now, Inquisitor Barnham, you may begin. Thank you, my lord. The Inquisition summons the witnesses to this malicious crime of witchcraft. If only I'd made it to the room sooner. Maybe I could have prevented all this from happening. I won't let Maya take the rap for this. I'll find every single crack in their testimony and prove it wasn't her. Welcome to the Witches' Court, honorable witnesses. Now, let us hear your names and occupation. What is he wearing? I am known far and wide as a mere Punchinbog? Punchinbog. The first. Soon to be the new head of Punchinbog's retail organization, PRO. Pro.
Hang on!
Wait a minute. Witness. What's that, Blue Square? You're that guy from the previous trial. Just what the heck's happened to you? You look like you've been on one of those ultimate makeover shows. He's wearing jewels? They don't even look real. Surely those are fake. Baubles. He's wearing glass baubles. Colorful baubles. Whatever do you mean? My name is Amir Punchinbog the First. Soon to be head of Punchinbog's retail organization, Pro. What is the meaning of this, Inquisitor? I do not dare to delve into this witness' personal affairs. It looks like he remembers them all too well. Witness, pray continue. Is that poison? Oh my gosh. Was he pouring poison into his cup just now? Oh dearie me, it is I who usually asks the questions. I am, you see, but a humble teacher. Call me Miss Primstone. Primstone. With a P, not a B. Brimstone. Yeah, Brimstone was sulfur, wasn't it? Oh, she's a primary. Okay. The children of Labyrinthia Primary School have the privilege of learning the truth about this world from me. If it was poison, he would die during the trial. Maybe he's immune to poison. An elementary school teacher, huh? Good to know. At least one witness seems sensible. Oh no! Do I have to sing that? I don't want to sing that, please, no. The winds carry my song, it's birdly stringing along. Parrot and bard, ensemble avant-garde. Help. Me. My faithful muse here is Cracker the musical parrot. No one understands music like Cracker, aside from me, naturally. Oh, he can speak. Like a person. At least it's not another goat. What a smart bird. He just imitated that teacher perfectly. Oh, I'm sure that won't be relevant later. Luke! I'm Luke Triton. My occupation is a professor's apprentice. The lit music starts playing. Aww. Everyone enjoy this music with me. I love this music. Luke! Luke, but why? What are you doing there? I made up my mind. I'm doing this for the professor. A gentleman has to pursue the truth. But, Luke, that's where the Inquisition's witnesses stand. I'll never forgive that witch. What? Luke, excuse me, what? A gentleman shouldn't glare at people as if he wants to hit them in the face. Luke! Your friend today can be your enemy tomorrow. Such is the hard reality of the battlefield. OBS? Internet? We back? Anyway. Witnesses, we will now hear your testimonies. Tell us all of this wicked incident, which you have been unfortunate enough to witness. Okay, here we go. No puzzles for me. Just a trial. I suppose that's a puzzle in itself somehow. Some way or another. I heard a scream and an incantation, and then, when I entered the room, the victim was already all shiny. Mayhaps something caused discord between erstwhile friends. Mr. Silkhead had a knife at the ready in his hand. He what? He did? I hate you. Buddy, I hate you. Victim of magic, sparkly and done for. I heard the stuff fall on the floor. Right. The professor must have seen through Miss Meyer's deception and confronted her right there, face to face. Luke, what the hell are you doing? I see. Thank you all. However, one part of the testimony was somewhat confusing. You there, the singer. Singer? Would you possibly mean me, Birdly the Bard, Your Excellence? Yes, that will be you, singer. This staff that you said sang about. It is as you suspect, my lord. This very witch's scepter. There are two different magic gems attached, meaning the perpetrator could have used two types of magic. Yeah, it would seem so. This gem here enables the use of a gold transmutation spell. Goldor. Gold? Oh, gold? Oh, goldo? Just the word alone makes the tiny hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Ha ha ha, that's the one alright. That's the dreadful incantation that I, Emir Punchinbog the First, also heard. Oh dearie, dearie me. I have seen that scepter, so I have. Why? Why? Clank tips over the golden man. The scepter falls, not the witch's plan. Oh dearie, dearie me. How dare she do that to the professor? Either way, this witch's scepter was found on the floor near the victim. You turn your attention to the sketched plans. It was located right there. Right here. Couldn't have Layton also used it? Or maybe it was somewhere on a shelf and it fell down and accidentally hit him? But no, wait, you need the incantation as well, don't you? A scepter dropped by the accused would naturally tumble to exactly that spot. Would it?
Objection!
Layton is a witch! Burn the witch. Well, melt the witch? Since he's all gold now? Someone used the hand of Midas on him. Inquisitor Barnham, what you're saying amounts to nothing more than a baseless assumption. You are on edge today, Sir Blue Knight. Is it because your friend is on trial? Perhaps you had better cool yourself down. Well, anyway, the court accepts the scepter as evidence. Thank you, my lord. Player Magica added to the court record. The spell Goldor has been bookmarked in the Grand Grimoire. Inquisitor Barnham, may I ask you something? What is it now, Sir Blue Knight? We know that one of the gems is for the spell Goldor, but what about the other one? A naive question. Huh? Naivety may be no hindrance to a baker who spends most of his time amidst bread, but it can be your undoing here in court. Would a knight put a weapon in his enemy's hand? He's telling me to do my homework, huh? Mr. Wright, I'll look for information about that magic gem in the Grand Magic book. Thank you, Isabella. That would be great. Just leave it to me. She seems very happy to help. So we're basically just waiting for her to figure it out. Okay, so painting. The wall behind the painting of the crime scene had been painted green. Floor plan. Yes. And this thing. Gold and purple. Oh, can I not look at... Oh, I can look at the older ones. Interesting. Transmute the caster's target into solid gold. The spell will transmute the closest target within range. Okay. Time for interrogation. Yes, it is poison. Or at least it is labeled as poison. Respect.
Hold it!
And, what is all this about exactly? What do you mean, Blue Squire? Your gaudy, colorful outfit. I mean, your attire was different last time. A little more modest. The Emir you knew back then is no more. I am a new man now, reborn into the higher... How do I pronounce that? Echelons? Of society. Right. What's he drinking? There's a skull and crossbones mark on that bottle. Enough idle chatter. The witness heard a scream and an incantation. Is that correct? That's right. It's just like what you said earlier, Inquisitor Barnham. It was the spell Goldor, and it was without a doubt the voice of the accused that said it. However, it's rather peculiar. When I saw the accused and the victim together last time, they seemed to be on friendly terms. The next witness will dispel your doubts, my lord. Are you saying you think they quarreled? The other day, I saw you all together in this very court, and you were evidently friends. Well, yeah, that's true. But what's that got to do with... Now, everyone, listen carefully. No chatting in the back row. What I say now will be in the next exam. Miss Primstone's lesson number 5. Friendship leads to nothing but trouble. People would not break up and part their ways in anger if they did not become friends in the first place. That's not quite true, but okay. The kids in her class must grow up to be model citizens. Oh dearie dearie me, what I saw in that room curdled the blood in my veins. Mr. Silkhead was pointing the glittering knife ever so threateningly.
Hang on!
Everything okay, Luke? No, of course it's not okay. The professor was a true gentleman. And no gentleman would go around threatening people with knives. I couldn't agree more. Silly boy, I saw your professor pointing a knife. Are you insinuating that I am a liar, you cheeky little whippersnapper? The professor would never do that. You don't know him. At least Luke's found someone else to antagonize. Mr. Wright? What is it? I think there was some important information in Miss Primstone's testimony. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. It's not my place to say things like that. I didn't notice anything. What could it be? What was Bella about to say? Bella, why don't you tell us all what you've noticed? Oh, is that okay? It's just something I'd like to ask Miss Primstone about. Well, just go ahead and ask her. Excuse me, Miss Primstone? Do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh, it's you, Miss Espella Cantabella. Miss Primstone, did you actually see the knife that Mr. Layton was holding? I did, as a matter of fact, yes. I remember that glinting blade very well. The most frightening sight it was, too. And you saw that from the door, didn't you? Now, if you look at the sketch... When the incident took place, Mr. Layton must have been facing this way, correct? That must have been the case, otherwise the witness would not have been able to see it. Well, that's all I wanted to ask. The more information we have, the better, right? The direction the professor was facing, that could be important. Of course it's important! Why would it not be important? This information shall be added to the court record. I'm sorry I jumped in like that, but I really wanted to help. With all this, Bella, we were able to get some more info, which may just come in handy. You think so? Now then, next witness shall continue with their testimony. Yes. Yes, yes. Hush.
Hold it!
Would you mind describing what you saw without singing about it? As you wish, my musically impaired friend. Also, how would he hold a knife when his hand is shaped like that? Simply put, when I entered the room, the victim was worth his weight in gold, for obvious reasons. He tipped over and fell heavily onto the floor. The room became drearily silent. And then I heard that scepter tumbling across the floor.
Hang on!
Can I ask you something, Miss Primstone? Dearie, dearie me! Oh, dearie, dearie me! My dear, do not frighten me so. I feel like a schoolgirl caught napping during class. Miss Primstone, you see the witch's scepter at the crime scene? Well, about that, I must confess, I do not clearly recall. You don't remember? When I went into the room, the golden man fell down and made quite the ruckus. That is why I did not notice the scepter being dropped. So you didn't see it after all. But I am certain that witch girl had it. She must have been hiding it behind her back.
Objection!
Please don't assume Maya is a witch just because she's been accused. Miss Primstone is certainly quick to make assumptions. I see. Now, we would like to hear the next witness testimony. This next witness is a bit problematic. Just a bit. Hey, Luke. Right.
Hold it!
Luke, open your eyes. Maya isn't a witch. Ever since you came to this town, lots of unbelievable things have happened. And that's why. From now on, I'll only believe what I see with my own eyes. Have you seen her use the scepter to turn him into gold? Luke. When I went into that room, the only people I saw were the Professor and Maya. Professor had been turned to gold, and Maya dropped that scepter. That's not true. What? Maya? I didn't have any scepter, and we weren't the only ones in the... Silence. The accused has no right to speak. Oh my. Be silent or you will face punishment. Hey. That's mean. We can end this trial immediately should you decide you feel talkative again. Wow. Poor Maya. I'm sorry. Well, Luke, is that really the truth? Huh? Did you really see the scepter? I don't know. And the professor turned to gold and collapsed right in front of me. Everything seemed to fade to black. And then, I could have sworn I at least heard Maya drop the scepter. The scepter was found at the scene of the crime. That is the unavoidable truth. Only the accused could have dropped it. This isn't looking good. I feel so sorry for Luke. He's so full of anger and despair that he can't think clearly. He said he can't forgive the witch. I understand how he feels. Anyway, I need to find a way to calm Luke down first of all. Right. Let me... We have the floor plan, the wheel pane, the case outline, and... Okay. The only thing I can think of is... the direction. This thingy. There's something very strange about that last statement. What? Hey! If anything here is strange, I'd say it was you, Defender. Excuse me? Wait, do I need to press her for answers first? I just want puzzles. I'm not made to be an ace attorney. Ah. The defense abstains from commenting on the Inquisition's fashion sense, Your Honor. Okay, sure. Hold it! There we go. They quarreled. Yes, and they were friends. Okay. Ah. Right.
No way!
And he wouldn't do that. Can I just present it? No? Ah! Perhaps he discovered that she was a witch, or she tried to attack him first. Brimstone's lesson number 7. Secrets lead to nothing but trouble. From the smallest of secrets can sprout the largest of arguments. This one is going to be in the exam. Everything's the beginning of trouble to her. Heard stuff fall on the floor. Oh, wait. How about this?
Objection!
Luke, you said that you will only believe what you see with your own eyes. But what you think you saw may not be the whole truth. Huh? What do you mean? Take a close look at the sketch of the crime scene. At the time of the incident, Professor Layton and Maya were standing here. Now, we have learned from Miss Primstone's testimony which way the professor was facing. He was facing this way. Oh. You have testified that the professor confronted Maya face to face. But looking at the sketch of where they were standing, one thing is clear. There's a contradiction in your testimony. Oh dear. Well, I found it.
Objection!
What do you mean, objection? Whether they're facing each other or not is of no relevance whatsoever. What do you mean of no relevance? Excuse me. They were the only ones in that room. One was a victim, thus the other must be the witch.
Objection!
I will ask you to wait before jumping to conclusions, Inquisitor. Think back to Miss Primstone's testimony. She told us that the professor was pointing a knife at someone threateningly. However, you can see in the sketch that he wasn't threatening Maya. So then, who was he pointing the knife at?
Hold it!
Luke? Luke, what is it? The professor would never point a knife at anyone. I was the one who opened the door through that room, so I was the first witness, and I saw no knife. Miss Primstone's testimony is not reliable. Oh, dearie me, will you look at this child, sputtering nonsense and talking badly of his elders. Inquisitor Barnham? Yes, my lord. It should pose no difficulty to verify whether or not the victim had a knife. Do we have his arm? Do we get his arm? Can we get that as his evidence? Just a walrus arm? After all, that sparkling golden body of his has been found at the scene of the crime, has it not? Indeed it has, my lord. Court attendants, you heard the judge. Bring the victim to the courtroom. Seems like they are going to bring the golden statue. Professor? Sparkly. And missing an arm, but sparkly. Shiny. Look at that. Did it get damaged in transit? Professor! Professor! So this is the power of the gold transmutation spell. Most spectacular. It looks like work of the finest artisans. I assure you, it is the work of no artisans, my lord. By the way, the missing arm has not yet been found. What now? No arm? How do you lose an arm? I can't believe this. Professor, I suppose we should add the victim to the evidence. Okay, I was wrong. We did not get the arm. We got the wall professor as evidence. While searching for evidence, he became evidence. Poor man is now armless. Well, he still got one arm, I guess. He was clearly... Yes, he was unarmed. Okay. Let's see, what does it say? Professor Layton turned into a ghoul through the spell Goldor. The right arm is missing. Yay. This is unfortunate. I thought the evidence would be as good as gold. No knife. Yeah, no knife. But also... I mean, we saw that in this... Ah, no. Okay, maybe he was... There? Oh well, we will figure it out, I'm sure. What is up with that knife? But although it technically is, we are still no closer to discerning whether or not the victim was holding a knife.
Hold it!
Let me speak, please. Maya. The professor didn't have a knife, and also, there was another person in that room. The real witch was there too. Please believe me. Accused, do I really need to warn you again? Inside the cage, you are to behave like a bird that has forgotten its song. Speak again and you shall be punished. Or are you in particular hurry to taste the flames of justice, little bird? Aww, oh Maya. But it's true that someone else could have been at the crime scene. Look at the sketch. The victim was facing towards someone, and that person wasn't Maya. Sir Blue Knight, your ignorance is no longer even a surprise. Huh? You do not know what transpired at the crime scene. You think this man was pointing at another person, you say? Let me tell you this. Nearly everyone in this court, other than you, knows what Sir Head was pointing at. What? Well, honorable witnesses, is that not so? Hi, give me a punch and Boggle first. Love me some gossip and stories of the occult. I hate the bard. Elusive like mist, the magical beast. Its chilling breath brings about death. But dear me, you could use some education, Blue Knight. I can offer you private tuition, but it will not come cheap. If the professor wasn't confronting Maya... Witnesses, you will now testify. Tell us all about the other presence at the crime scene. You should not be allowed to drink whatever that is in court, but okay. We all know what happened to that alchemist, so this case is no mystery. Same place, same magic trick. This time her luck ran out and she dropped that magic scepter. Same magic trick? Was the alchemist turned into gold? I don't remember that ever being said. The truth obscured by a twisted ruse. The witch couldn't vanish, but did confuse. It happened because the professor unraveled the mystery behind all these witches. He did? The same magic trick was used? They are referring to an incident from 3 months ago. Much like this incident, a man lost his life to witchcraft in that very room. It was the master of that residence, Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist. The witch! He suffered death by strangulation. Finger marks were left on his neck, but that's not the same magic trick, is it? He had locked himself in his study, and the key was still in his pocket. Locked room mystery. In other words, no one could have entered that room. The perpetrator disappeared from a locked room, just like in this case. But if they acknowledge that it's the same and the perpetrator disappeared, then why are they still accusing Maya? Question mark? A large amount of powdered medicine was spilled all over the floor. Oh. No, wait. Yes, we saw that. Powdered medicine. The Belgic was an alchemist. He was a witch, Your Honor. He possessed various medicinal concoctions. Due to the presence of that powder, had anyone entered that room, clear footprints would have remained, yet there were none. That's the kind of mystery that the professor would have loved to solve. Hello, Penguin! How are you today? Fucked? Why are you fucked today? You downloaded. Oh! How could you? How could you? I'm disappointed. I am so disappointed, Penguin. I am very, very disappointed. TikTok of all things. That's shocking. That how am I going to live with? Wait, no, I'm dead already. That's how can you live with that? No one should suffer the TikTok. Your sister started a TikTok account. Oh dear. My condolences. You need to see what she was doing. I see. I see. So you're subjecting yourself to the horror of TikTok. Oh my. Thus, there were two unnatural circumstances to Sir Balduke's death. The culprit's disappearance from a locked room, and the fact that they appeared not to have walked on the floor. It's almost as if they flew away. In other words, it couldn't have been the Dimere magic that was used in my case the other day. Or Dimir. I think it was supposed to be pronounced Dimir. Which is weird if it's supposed to be based on Latin, but whatever. You deleted it now? Oh well. That was a good decision, yes. That's a good decision. Free yourself from the horror of TikTok. Do not give in to temptation. Seems like the killer levitated above the floor, strangled Balduke and vanished into thin air. But what does that have to do with this trial? See, Penguin? You must never download TikTok again or Cecilia will refuse to speak with you. Stalking your sister. It has been 3 months since that murder. Despite that, we still haven't been able to find the witch responsible. But now, having eluded us for so long, that witch has finally been brought before this court. We will have justice. What? No way. Now he thinks Maya killed the alchemist too? We weren't even here back then, but it's not like I can explain that to him. Well then, why don't you interrogate the witnesses? Now that you are aware of the connection between the two murders.
Objection!
You can't be serious. 3 months ago we weren't even... Defender, you may interrogate the witnesses. And nothing else. May the testimonies lead us to the truth. Okay. Buddy, I think you need to sober up. I think you're high on poison.
Hold it!
What do you mean no mystery? It was never solved. You're talking about Mr. Balduke's murder, which took place in a locked room. Yeah, a real shocker, alright. Everyone was talking about it. People don't say this out loud, but you know, eh? You're thinking it too, eh? I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. Ain't it clear as day? He was an alchemist. Which? He was an alchemist. Alchemy is just like magic, ain't it? Yes, say it louder. The Balduke was a man, only... A woman can be a witch. What about non-binary people? What about transgender people? What about everyone else? What's more, witchcraft has nothing to do with alchemy. They're different. Somehow. Oh, really? Really? Alchemy is the mysterious art of manipulating the forces of nature, or so it is said. What about demons? What about fairies? Oh, are demons and fairies their own gender now? Nice. Well, that does sound a lot like magic to me. Alchemy is incomprehensible to regular people. All magic, really. Yes, thank you, Amir. And you know, a couple of days before the witch got him, there was that lightning that struck. Lightning? Glad you're asking, because I tell you that one. All of a sudden, like a bolt from the blue sky, there was this bolt from the sky. What? Okay. Only it wasn't blue. The sky lit up and turned blood red. And then, out of nowhere, an old-looking bell tower appeared in a burst of flames. Makes you realize Mother Nature's pretty powerful stuff, eh? Oh, my room got really dark all of a sudden. Oh, it's raining! It's raining. Wait, let me turn on the light. Where's my... There, I have turned on some light. Not the light, but some light. Got a fancy little LED thingy that can change colors now. I don't like it, to be honest. It has all the wrong colors. But it came with the desk, so I guess I'll take it. Bro really needs the rain. Yeah, it hasn't... I think this is like only the second time it has rained ever since I moved up here. And it's the first time it's been raining this heavily. Where were we? Right. You're straight off the topic at hand. Witness, this is a courthouse, not an inn. Save your thrilling stories for later. Oh, I'm sure the rain won't affect our internet. I said and jinxed it immediately. Oh dear. Same place, same magic trick.
Hold it!
Right. Would you care to elaborate on that, Miss Primstone? You could say I'm a scholar, and my knowledge is vast and diverse. I know a thing or two about witchcraft. Therefore, I have a very good idea of the type of magic that must have been used at this time. The magic behind this mysterious figure that appeared out of nowhere glided through the air and vanished after making the kill. Yes, the light on our desk has a little remote. You should have put it where the socket, the electricity socket is, to that side, probably, maybe. I don't know, it's either on the left or the right. There are only two options. There are only two options. Wow, the rain got really heavy. Indeed, yes, and the Witch's Scepter confirms my theory. Wait, Cecilia said. It's not a remote. I mean, it's a switch. It's a light switch. Yeah, it's not a remote, exactly. It's a light switch. Sorry, I didn't realize you. Yes, exactly. Yes. For some reason, I thought you said light switch, but you said remote. It is not, in fact, a remote. A brilliant deduction. I am honored to have studied under an excellent teacher such as yourself, Miss Primstone. He was his teacher? Actually, I guess that kind of explains a lot. Our occult crime analysts have arrived at the same conclusion. Alright. I found it. A page about the purple magic gem. The spell's called Familia. Familia? What does it do? You didn't really take notice of it. Have you never used it before? Have you just ignored the little light all this time? The spell Familia, bound within this purple gem, is used to summon a familiar. Familiars appear out of nowhere, glide through the air and vanish when their task is accomplished. Why does that sound familiar? They are evil, bloodthirsty spirits used by witches to perform outrageous crimes. Oh, so it's Toffee. Does that mean Toffee is a witch's familiar? I mean, Cecilia was a witch. And Toffee is an evil, bloodthirsty spirit in the form of a cat. You ignored it except for the first day you had it. Guess what it was set to? Orange. I mean, on one hand, I freaking hate orange. On the other hand, out of all the colors, it's the most comfortable on the eye because there's no warm yellow, unfortunately. But let it not be left unsaid that I freaking hate orange. I hate orange. Only the color. Oranges themselves are fine. Evil spirits? Are you saying that the witch used a familiar to... That poor table. It was a familiar that took Sir Balduke's life, and now it has happened. It has appeared again. In what way? Oh, did it take the arm? Is that what you're implying? Cat!
Witch's familiar was summoned.
Can you turn on my light, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I was planning to once I'll leave.
Thank you. Kit
Witch's
Kat!
familiar was summoned and the witch's familiar appeared.
And the witch itself is possessing my body.
Yes, of course she is.
Oh, Cat, why do you hate me? Oh, my lap. Why do you hate my lap, darling? Hmm? Am I not fat enough for you? Am I too bony? Yes. Bye, Cat. She hates my lap. Yes, Cat. Bye, Cat. Bye, Cecilia. And there she goes. The cat left a stink in her toilet. Stinky cat. This is the attack of the evil witch familiar cat Toffee. Stink. It was very effective. Sizzle Cat was probably trying to ward off the evil spirit with his knife. But what good is a knife against an occult creature? Creature. Occult creature. It completed the task given to it by the witch and promptly vanished. Thus bringing us to the conclusion that Sir Balduke and Sir Silkhead were both killed by the same witch. Oh, so other witches can't possibly have witch familiars? No? Does every witch have unique spells? No overlapping? Everyone hydrate. Don't forget to drink water. It's raining water. Yeah, quite a lot of water coming down from the heavens. What an unexpected turn of events, when two incidents have been shown to be connected. Due to the same witch's scepter having been used in both cases, how are you so sure of... Okay. Sure. Fine. Oh, this is terrible. Now Maya is accused of 2 murders. Oh, dearie, dearie me. I was right, as always. Shadow familiar spell. Summons forth a magical familiar from the shadows. Although it possesses a physical form, it is completely weightless. Interesting. Oh, I love the little bookmarks. Oh, cute. Adorable. The gruesome murder will be in the next exam. Make sure to take notes. Now I shall divulge what really happened. We are all ears, Miss Primstone. That hat maker was pointing the knife at the witch's familiar.
Hold it!
I guess. Did you actually see the familiar? Did it look like a black cat? Called Toffee. Oh, dearie, dearie me, no I did not. When that boy opened the door, the familiar had just disappeared. Had the boy opened the door sooner, no doubt we all would have seen it. If he were my student, I would have made sure to teach him not to dilly-dally.
Hang on!
Everything alright, Luke? You seem to be in deep thought about something. No, it's not right at all. Is there something in Miss Primstone's testimony that you'd like to comment on? That's what I keep telling you. The professor wouldn't point a knife at anyone. Dearie, dearie me, what an impertinent child. I'm telling you, I saw a knife. I distinctly saw the glint of a sharp blade.
Objection!
Couldn't have just been the professor glinting. He's shiny now. He's shiny. At any rate, as we can see now, The victim's arm is missing. As such, there is no proof that he had a knife, as he was pointing like this.
Objection!
That is but a mere detail, it matters not. A mere detail? Matters not! Oh my. Anyhow, I wonder where could that missing arm be? Yeah, that ought to be looked into. Who's... Hey. Mister, do you have something you'd like to share with us? Mr. Emir. If it's Mr. Emir... It's Mr. Emir Punchenburg the first to you, Bluey. The likes of you ought to show some respect for a future man of wealth such as me. Future man of wealth. You seem to be looking ahead to a future full of newly gained riches. I can look wherever I bleeding please. Anyway, why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about that golden bloke's right arm. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. What is it is better? I may be wrong, but there's something about that man. Wouldn't you say he looks, vicious? It's not just you. Everything about him is so shady, it makes me want to double check my pockets. Mr. Emir, stop pretending you don't know anything about the victim's missing arm. Oh, because it's gold. And he wants to be rich. We're pretending? I told you, I don't know nothing. I know nothing, nada, zero, nil. I ain't seen it, or heard about it, or put it in my pocket. Put it in your pocket? It wasn't me, honest, seriously, I've got nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Huh?
Mia! You lying, cheating, good for nothing, you tried to deceive me!
What? Oh my gosh, who are you? Hello? Order! Order! Who's that person? You want to know who I am? I'm Price the pawnbroker. Oh, wait, we talked to you. You gave me a puzzle once. And this man is a shameless, cheating bum. He had the nerve to lie to me. What did he lie to you about? I'll tell you, on the day of the crime, Emir came to my shop. He walks up to me saying he'd got his hands on a superb work of art, rare as a gold dust. He bought the professor's arm, calling it, really? Mysterious. I wonder what happened. I think I know where this is going. That work of art. Could it be? I've got it right here. Okay. Just like I thought. That's... Oh my. Professor. The professor's arm. It's pure gold, exquisitely crafted. It was entitled, Gold's Tomorrow or something like that. I'd never seen a piece of gold so fine before. And so, suspecting nothing, I paid that rascal a rather handsome sum. Who would have thought? And what am I hearing now? That it was a human arm, no less? You, sir, are a monster. You're as bad as a witch's familiar yourself. I didn't know it was his arm, I swear. When I saw it, it was already like that. What do you mean? I was lost to the scene and it caught me right away. That golden arm pointing up at the ceiling with such optimism and authority. Sparkly. I thought, it looks like it's showing me the way to a better, brighter, richer tomorrow. To me, it was a work of art, a precious one at that. And then it found its way into your pocket and you pawned it. You mounted it on a crude stand, gave it a tawdry title and passed it off as some kind of a sculpture. Don't try and look away from the truth now. Damn it. I can look wherever I don't please. I'll look away from the facts and forward to the future. Always look on the bright side. That's a mere punch in box motto. What? Okay. I guess. Oh, did they put him next to Nick? Golden Layton. Where are we now? Ah yes, the victim's arm has now been successfully reattached by one of our masterful craftsmen. Oh. Knights of the Court, you may resume the Inquisition. At least one thing's clear now. As everyone can see, the victim definitely wasn't holding a knife. Oh dear me. It seems I may have been mistaken after. Oh, really? When you think about it, the victim had already been turned to gold when we entered the room. According to the witnesses' testimonies, that was the case, yes. Well then, I'm sure you can see that it was easy to mistake that glittering pointing finger for a knife. You don't say. Indeed, the victim's finger has a glint to it, resembling that of a sword's edge. The entire body has a glint to it? He's made of gold. Excuse me. The entire thing is made of gold. Such a sense of power and intensity. I wonder how much he's worth. I think 1 gram, one teeny gram of gold is worth about 90 euros now? Maybe even 100? Somewhere between 90 and 100. It's a lot. It's a lot. The last time I checked it was at 50 euros. And that was 10 years ago, maybe? Gold price has doubled since then. So Layton would weigh about, I don't know, twice as much as me? And that turned into gold? No, wait. Actually, is his weight turned... Is it... What's the conversion like? Does he still weigh the same now that he's turned into gold? Does he still have the same mass? Or does he now have the density of gold, so he weighs more? How does it work? Either way, it's gonna be a lot of money if that's pure gold. Such a sense of power and intensity. It's enough to send a shiver down the spine of anyone being pointed at. The thunder I hear. Oh my goodness. It suddenly turned from mere rain into a thunderstorm. No puzzle is a match for the power of the professor's pointing finger. Okay. I guess no one remembers I'm known for pointing like that too. I think your pointing finger makes quite an impression too, Mr. Wright. She's just taking pity on me. Lightning was 5 seconds before the thunder. I didn't see the lightning. My back is turned to the window. I'm not looking at the window. Is that all you had to say, Sir Blue Knight? Huh? As I said before, whether the victim had a knife or not, it's completely irrelevant. Yeah, what he said. You'd better apologize to me now. What? You stole an arm from a crime scene. Badgering me for no reason like that. Excuse me, you stole a person's arm from a crime scene. Is that all there is to it? Or could that arm hold some other clues? We've come this far. Maybe there's something else you could ask about. He's right, I need to ask some more questions. Well then, Mr. Mir. Perhaps you could tell me one more thing about that arm. When did you find it? How much did you pawn it for? Where was it lying? I want to ask so badly. But I should probably... I mean, he says one more thing, so I don't know if I get a second chance. But how much was it worth? It flashed across your screen. My screen doesn't have a shiny surface. It's a graphics tablet, it's matte. No shiny surface. You thought your monitor was malfunctioning? Huh. You found the arm on the floor, pointing upwards, you said. Yeah, I did. Finders keepers, I say. It was pointing straight up at the ceiling. The arm somehow the arm somehow happened to fall down in such a way that it landed upright. That's such a weird thing, though. What are the odds of that? Actually, that reminds me of a puzzle. Puzzle? Puzzle? Now, if you could just show us on this floor plan here. I'd like to know the exact spot where you found the victim's arm. Where is my puzzle? Sure, I remember that well. It was right... What? Right there. Huh? Yes. That's where you would expect it to fall. No? No? He was pointing that... I mean, I suppose he fell over and then... No? No. Now, if that's where it was, then something's definitely not right. If you keep looking at that sketch so intensely, you should burn a hole in it. Magic! Burn the witch! Or perhaps... you're going to claim there's a contradiction in it somewhere. This arm is the final clue left by the professor. Even after turning to gold, he was pointing out something important. Sparkling, shiny. Namely, the key to solving this case. Well, Defender, do you see any problems in the locations marked on the sketch? Oh, yes. Yes, there's a problem. Of course there's a problem. Shush. And where would that be precisely? The professor's arm has armed me with some vital evidence. Its location leads to a huge contradiction. In that case, why don't you enlighten us and show us the so-called contradiction? What contradiction does the victim's arm create? Wait, why is this behind there?
Got it!
Contradiction is right here. And this is the witch's scepter. Let's go over the order of events, as per the witness's testimony. First, the witch cast a spell on the professor, turning him to gold. When all of you rushed to the crime scene, that golden statue fell down, making a loud noise. Next, the witch dropped the scepter. What are you getting at, Sir Blue Knight? All witnesses agree with this order of events. That's right, they all agree that's how it happened. But then there's the arm. Well, what about it? Spit it out. Let's assume that Maya was the witch. Now look at the sketch again. The witch dropped the scepter after having turned the professor into gold. The scepter tumbled along the floor and was found here, as asserted by the prosecution. However, that would be impossible. There's no way it could have been there. Oh, I see it now. The arm, it was... I'm glad you seem to have noticed. The victim's arm was on the floor right here, standing on its end. Therefore, the scepter couldn't possibly have fallen that way. Layton is the witch. Burn the witch! Burn Layton. No, melt him. Melt him and sell him. No, I like Layton too much for that. Don't melt down my Layton. I need him for more games. More puzzles. Ergo, it couldn't have been the defendant who dropped the scepter. Yeah. We can't melt Layton. We can't burn him. Pardon the witch. Grant him mercy. In other words, Maya is not a witch. Order! 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 How can this be? The Inquisition's reasoning has been proven invalid through just one single piece of unusual evidence. Call it Layton's magical touch. The professor sacrificed his arm to leave us just the evidence needed to turn this thing around. That was amazing, Mr. Wright. Professor?
Objection!
Leave the poor table alone. An admirable deduction, Sir Blue Knight, that I cannot deny. Even if we are to assume your reasoning is correct and that girl in the cage is not a witch. Even if. In the many trials I've attended, I've become well versed in certain aspects of magic. I am all too aware of its potential to confuse people, befuddle their minds, and make their memories hazy. No one can resist such a maddening influence. That sounds awfully convenient. What are you saying, Inquisitor? The scepter could not have tumbled across the floor if the arm were in the way. However, can we be sure that is where the arm was? Are all of the witnesses able to confirm its location at the time?
Objection!
We've heard what they had to say several times now. They agreed that the scepter fell after the victim fell over.
Objection!
And yet, no one actually saw the scepter being dropped. Witnesses, think back to that incident once more. Did the golden statue fall over first, or did the staff fall before it? Think carefully about what you have seen and heard. Everything hinges on your testimonies. May your words guide us to the truth and decide the fate of this caged witch. They changed positions. Oh. I was about getting ready to leave, but it seems there is need for further questioning. Judge, you're a bit hasty there. Testify once more, witnesses. Tell us of this golden statue and the Telea Magica. Alright. I was only focusing on the professor, so I don't remember much else. I don't know, got there last. Nice, that thing was glinting and glittering away, so I couldn't see much else. Ah, I hate him so much. Bewitched by love or beloved by a witch, the poor calf knows not which is which. Dearie me, I remember. How obvious it seems now. The staff was dropped before the statue fell over. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Oh, wait a minute. What you all said just now is totally different from your previous testimonies. Sir Blue Knight, you're starting to notice it now, aren't you? That is the way of magic. Such is the effect this black art tends to have upon those who witness it. The witnesses are not lying, but simply having trouble remembering the truth. What a convenient excuse. Confronted with magic, their brains turn to mush, huh? Ever since our ancestors drank from the fountains of wisdom and obtained the capacity for reason, witchcraft has been the one thing to remain incomprehensible, even to the most intelligent of us. Nevertheless, the onus is on us to stand up against magic and pass judgment on these witches. And so here we are doing battle with the weapons of the wise. Words. You were saying... Wasn't the first trial all about logic not being something they use here? They sure changed their mind now. With words we shall pass judgment upon this supposed witch. Defender, you may begin your interrogation and help us arrive at the truth. Right. Okay. Yes, of course you were only focusing on the professor.
Hold it!
Duke, You said before that you heard the scepter fall on the floor fall to the floor. And that was after the professor fell over. I thought so. I thought so before, but now... The more I think about it, the less certain I am that I actually heard it. How could I have been paying attention to anything else when the professor was... when he was... My memories of everything else are too fuzzy. Augustus was too shocked to take in his surroundings and notice anything else. I doubt I'll get any more information out of him for now. I'm sorry, Luke. I understand how hard this is for you. Let's move on to the next witness. Yes. You stole the arm. And that thing would be the arm of that shiny gent next to you, Bluey. Poor Professor Layton, more valued now than ever before. And you didn't notice a scepter on the floor? No, I wasn't even looking at the floor. My eyes were kinda glued to Miss New source of income. If anything, I may have looked up at the ceiling since that's where it was pointing. And? What's at the ceiling? What was on the ceiling? Finders keepers, eh? Into my pocket it went. Someone arrest this guy, please. Shush. Put that thing away. And stop singing. Would you mind translating your song into plain speech? I shall simplify it once more just for you, esteemed knight of the court. First of all, let's talk about a love. What? It's a pretty neat plant rhyme for calf. A calf is slang for chap, you see?
Hang on!
What is it? Mr. Mir, you seem to be pondering something very deeply. Ah, you caught me unawares there, Bluey. Did something in Mr. Bertley's statement catch your attention just now? Nah, nothing in particular. I was just thinking... That bot song really got to me. I really kind of feel it in my heart. I appreciate your appreciation of my art. You know, I meant to ask you something. Why did you become a private bard? You could sing all about the heroic life of Emir Punchborg I. I could gladly sing of your adventures, if it pleases you, kind sir. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Show me what you've got. No. No, please don't. Very well, as per your request. No. No. Why must you do this to me? I'll grant Emir Punchborg I. Will new fortune quench your thirst? Having bravely flitched the golden arm, now you've duped the pawn shop man. That doesn't even rhyme. I hope my song was to your liking, sir. Ha ha, yeah, very poetic. Right. Right. Your drinking manner is quite inspiring, but whatever is that skull bottle hiding? So we've learned nothing useful at all. Just that Emir has questionable taste in music. And beverages that he's drinking. Sometimes it is best not to probe too deeply, Sir Blue Knight. Well then, let's just pretend we heard none of that and proceed with the interrogation. Yes, thank you. Oh. Ah, yes, the lady changed her mind. But you haven't said anything about that until now. Well, that couldn't have been helped. How so? Now, everyone, listen well. Pencils in hand, be sure to take notes. Miss Brimstone's lesson number 4. Memories are not always pretty. Some things are better forgotten. Trying to remember them only leads to trouble. This will be in the next exam. You are saying that the victim fell over and his arm broke off after the scepter was dropped, are you not? Correct. Well done. And so the contradiction is no more.
Objection!
But that's inconsistent with all the previous testimonies.
Objection!
You're quick to forget what I have told you, Sir Blue Knight. The witnesses are not lying. They are merely having trouble remembering the truth. We must do our utmost to find the truth within what they say. Wait. It's no use. These guys aren't making any sense. What Inquisitor Barnum said must be true. They've been confused by magic. It's better. We always try to make sense of what we see. So when what we see makes no sense, we lose track of what's real. I guess that makes cross-examination a little pointless. At least when everyone here believes it's so easy to get confused by magic. Well, we need to do something, or else Maya will be done for. I'll listen to the witnesses again and try to find something we can use. Good luck. Okay. Hmm. 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 Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Who could? I don't know what all this.
Hold it!
Did I miss something here? There was so much going on. Yeah. Then we oh yeah, it goes on if I don't question the other one. Then we have the word witch, and its homophone witch. Oh, right. Next, we have the delightful consonants of beloved and bewitched. It's ultimately a song about confusion. I'm confused. To be honest, there's nothing more to it. It's merely an artistic expression of my feelings. So, it's got nothing to do with this case, does it? Oh man. I am a well of melodious words and poetic music. That is my only claim. Ah, oh dearie, dearie me. What? Luke?
Hang on!
Luke! Luke, would you like to say something? Oh, sorry. Guess I spaced out a bit. What is it, Mr. Wright? We seem to be thinking pretty hard about something during Mr. Birdie's song. Testimonies just now. Is that something you would like to share with us? Well, I've been thinking about what Mr. Barnham said a while ago. What was that exactly? That humans who witness magic become confused and lose sight of what's real. And they end up not knowing what actually happened. Well, I was thinking Mr. Barnham might be right. And then it occurred to me that there might be a way. I mean, we do have with us a witness who isn't human. Oh yeah, Luke can talk to animals. Oh dearie, dearie me. The situation seems oddly familiar. I asked him earlier if he remembers the events clearly or not. He said he has a memory better than an elephant and remembers everything perfectly well. Ah, that's right. I almost forgot. Luke can talk to animals. Mr. Wright, I know it sounds crazy, but please let me try. Let me ask Cracker to testify. Oh dearie, dearie me. Should I? I'm stuck now anyway, and the witnesses' testimonies are all over the place. A new testimony would be a wild card, but it might just be the thing to turn this trial on its head. But it's a crazy ordeal, alright. Yes, it is a crazy idea. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Defender, are you still with us? This is not the time nor place for daydreaming. What do you intend to do? It looks as though you've exhausted all means for a counterattack, Sir Knight in Blue. there not time you drop your sword? He doesn't even have a sword. If you have no further questions for the witnesses, defender, I will consider your interrogation finished. What will it be then? Are we finished here? No, of course not. Question the damn bird already. Yes. Question the damn bird. Your Honor, the defense would like to summon a new witness. A new witness, you say? Who do you have in mind? It's a witness you all know, by the name of Mr. Cracker. Mr. Cracker. I know of no man by that name. Mr. Cracker. The defense summons its new witness, Mr. Cracker, the parrot. A parrot as a witness? Let's go.
Objection!
This is the witch's court. Joking around would be considered contempt in court.
Objection!
Mr. Cracker witnessed the crime. He saw it happen, and he heard it too. He's as valid a witness as the others.
Objection!
Why are you... They are believing all this other crazy stuff, but the parrot is where they get hung up on... What they get hung up on about. The parrot of all things. No, no, no. That bird is nothing but a pet animal. Referring to it as Mr. will not change...
Objection!
Humans are confused by magic, to the extent that they lose sight of what's real. That's what you yourself said, Inquisitor Zacharias Barnham.
Objection!
Calling me by my full name does not help justify such brash foolishness. The Inquisition is against interrogating a parrot. By the way, kind sirs, I suppose you should know that my dear companion never forgets a sound he hears. He remembers everything he hears, huh? It's definitely worth asking Cracker to testify. Yes, let's do it. The court sees the situation as follows. The witnesses' testimonies do not hold together. In fact, they are as erratic as that bard's songs. I cannot see this trial getting any more confusing. Very well, the defense may summon this avian witness. Can you believe it? What's up with Mr. Blue's suit? Summoning a parrot as a witness? Summoning? Does he mean like how the familiar was summoned? By hook or by crook? Hey, there's a fanfic with that title. I'll do whatever I can do. I will do whatever I can to save Maya. Be it summoning a parrot or a familiar, whatever it takes. Oh, are you going to summon the familiar later on? Within the boundaries of the law, of course. Okay. No. Alright.
Objection!
Witness. Not so fast. I hardly even know where to begin, but... First of all, what's the matter with that boy looking so pleased with himself? He looks like the cat got the cream. Cat that got the cream. Ah, that would be me, wouldn't it? Don't mind me. Just think of me as a perch for Cracker, that's all. And what is the purpose of questioning a bird? A parrot may be able to repeat what others say, but it cannot talk on its own. Oh, Luke. It's precisely because Cracker doesn't talk in his own words that he is certain to tell us the truth. What? Cracker remembers every sound he hears, even just the once, with absolute perfection. So let's have him testify exactly what he heard. And if Cracker can repeat every sound, I'd say this should be a valuable testimony. I cannot believe this is happening. A witness that cannot talk will not lie either. This idea is much to my liking. Well then, may our new witness, Cracker, testify to the court. We wish to know exactly what you heard from the beginning of the incident. Okay. Slam.
Deary, deary me. Clang. Dodo.
Objection! Action!
Wait, so Godor, as in Goldor, came at the end? At the very end? When they'd already seen it? And he was already golden? Is that what I'm hearing? What's this now? Why, those are the sounds of the incident, exactly as Cracker heard them. Ludicrous. Evidently, this is nothing but a farce after all. What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnham? I must admit I found the parrot's testimony quite impressive. Even if that bird can accurately recall the sounds. It is clearly useless when it comes to the order of the events. You mean there's a problem with the order? First, the witch used magic to turn the victim into gold. Then the witnesses arrived. It is reasonable to assume they cried out in terror when they did so. I mean, one of the witnesses did talk about hearing the spell, didn't they? But I forgot which one it was. And I forgot what they said. Then the witnesses arrived. It is yes. And yet, his testimony does not accurately convey such an order of events. It starts with a sudden scream, followed by the door abruptly opening, and then a witness crying out. Next, we hear the victim having turned into gold falling down. So far, so reasonable. But the real issue is as follows. The parrot seems to think the witch cast her spell after the witnesses entered. Such a suggestion is inconceivable. The reason is simple. At that time, the victim had already been turned into gold. What if it's not actually the victim? What if the professor's still around somewhere? And this is just a really, really well-made statue that looks like him. So it's all fake. Oh no, wait. Magic. Magic happened. Ah. Indeed, it is as you say, Inquisitor Barnham. The parrot's capacity for imitation is excellent. I will concede that its testimony does have some entertainment value. However, this animal's testimony cannot be allowed to stand as proof in this honorable court of law. Don't write Cracker off just like that. Do you now see how foolish you were to summon this parrot as a witness? Oh, not good, Phoenix. Not good at all. Should I really go through with this cross-examination when it feels like everyone in this court is against me? I was wondering why it was suddenly bright in my room, and then I turn around and the sky is blue. It was cloudy all day, and grey and dark, and now suddenly there's a blue sky. Wow. Anyway. Back to the trial. Let's cross-examine the bird. One brain cell. Also, this means I can turn off my desktop light. Desk light. Bye-bye desk light. Okay. And water. Let me drink some water. Alright. Alright. The defense wishes to cross-examine the witness. What? Are you serious? Did you not hear what I said? Are you choosing to ignore my words? A witness that cannot talk cannot lie either. This parrot's testimony is the naked truth. He's simply repeating the sounds as he heard them. It's humans who make assumptions about the meaning of those sounds and arbitrarily decide whether the testimony is good or not. I mean, but as knights of the court, shouldn't we be striving to uncover the truth to which this parrot holds the key? The truth, you say? Very well. Show us the truth that this bird purportedly knows. Interrogate that parrot. Meanwhile, I shall enjoy the show. Will you? Will you do it, Mr. Wright? Oh, do you think it's hopeless? Just let me interrogate the damn parrot already! Defender, you may interrogate the witness. Thank you. The golden statue and the scepter.
Hold it!
That's Maya screaming. Oh yeah, I may have let out a teeny scream. I was so horrified when the professor suddenly turned into gold like that, right before my eyes. So that's when the accused seems to yearn for the flames so much that she cannot wait to receive her punishment. If she wishes to live any longer, she would be wise to remain silent. I'm really sorry. I won't talk again, I promise. Unfortunately for you, the Blue Knight. There is no way you can prove that it was the voice of the accused.
Objection!
You're wrong, Inquisitor. All we need to do is have her voice print analyzed and we'll know straight oh wait. Analyze what? Voice print? Nothing, just forget what I said. Oh boy, this roll is driving me crazy. Well then, you may carry on with the interrogation.
Hold it!
Also, why does it say slam instead of making the sound? Was that the sound of the door being opened?
La 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 la!
No, not you.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Birdley. How may I help you, sir? I've been meaning to ask this before, but why are you still on the witness stand? Are you suggesting I should leave my dear partner alone with strangers who cannot even sing? Huh? The very sight of Cracker causes the finest of songs to effortlessly form in my mind. No, no. Why? Why? Sizzling cheddar or smoked cheese. I like my crackers with any of these. That was the cracker song. Not crisp and full of flavor. Right. Anyway, would you mind remaining quiet for the rest of Cracker's cross-examination? I suddenly got the munchies. Continue the interrogation. Yeah, I also suddenly want to eat something.
Hold it!
I think we all can agree that this sounds like Miss Primstone, right? When we entered the room, we all kind of reacted in surprise. Oh no. What do you want? Mr. Birdley, can I ask you something? Wait. So many questions for Birdley the Bard, but most of them I shall disregard. What? Why? I felt your keen gaze upon me for a while now. You can't help admire me, can you? The statement you heard earlier, was there anything you'd like to comment on? I wonder if there was, my peerless companion. What do you think? Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh, you're right. He's imitating you perfectly. How adorable. I can't say I share your love for the bird, Isabella. It feels like it's mocking me. Carry on with the investigation.
Hold it!
That must be the sound of the professor falling over, I guess. Professor. Ah, you again.
Hang on!
Mr. Birdie, can I ask you something? Yes. Did we already have this? Okay, fine.
Hold it!
That's a magic incantation, isn't it?
Objection!
Preposterous. At this stage, the victim was already on the floor. The transmutation spell had to have been used much earlier than that. I wonder... Luke, what about you? Did you hear the incantation too?
La 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 la!
Ah, you're really trying my patience here, Birdley. Nothing new? No? Why does he keep interrupting then? Okay, so much for that. Also, wait, he says Godor. If he can imitate them perfectly, wouldn't it be Goldor?
Objection!
Am I allowed to do this? There's a critical contradiction in this testimony. We are all aware of that, Sir Blue Knight. This contradiction is between your so-called desire to find the truth and the fact that you are interrogating a parrot. That's not what I'm talking about, Inquisitor. There's a contradiction here that makes one thing particularly clear. The fact that we have clearly all made a wrong assumption. How so? Luke, can you ask Cracker to repeat the incantation once more? Right, you are. Godor. 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 According to the current magic book, the name of the gold transmutation spell is Goldor. Now, Inquisitor, it would seem to me that the spell we've just heard is in fact a different one entirely. Well, I never. Unbelievable. Goldor and Godor.
Objection!
This is ridiculous. That wretched bird must have misheard the incantation.
Objection!
No. The bird can do it perfectly. Cracker is able to imitate sounds perfectly. Yes, exactly. The incantation was indeed misheard, but only by the people hearing it.
Objection!
The victim was found already in his golden state. That is proof enough that the Goldor spell was used.
Objection!
Not what we're talking about here, buddy. But you're forgetting that Cracker heard this incantation after that spell had already taken place. Which makes it entirely possible that this Goldor spell was used as well. In other words, another spell besides the gold transmutation magic must also have been used. Critical hit. Another spell that we haven't yet considered. Now, the next question that needs to be asked is, just what is this Goldor spell?
Objection!
Utter foolishness. This is absurd. As convenient as it would be for you, there is no way that a spell by the name of Godor exists. Oh, Mr. Wright! Huh? What is it? I found it! The page about the spell. Godor. It's listed in the Grand Grimoire. Right here. It exists? What? Of course it exists. Now I wonder what it does. Order. Order. I demand order. Just like I thought. I can remembered it exactly. But then, what kind of magic is this Godor? Well, my lord, the Grand Grimoire describes it in the following way. Godor creates a portal on two sides of green-colored walls. Oh! Oh, that's interesting. The portal will disappear after 5 minutes. Wait, 5 minutes? But if they heard it after they already... But then they would have seen... But... We will find out, I guess. Creates a portal. On green-colored walls. A portal spell. Disappear after 5 minutes. Because then the portal would still have been there, but... when everyone entered the room. But it was behind the picture, wasn't it? The painting on the wall. Aren't you a lucky man? It appears even the Grand Magic Book is on your side. However, there's a fatal flaw in your explanation. No, there isn't. No, there isn't! Huh? What flaw is that, Inquisitor? It is really quite simple. Also, does that mean the butler is the witch? Or one of the butlers? Are there two? The butler was wearing a different stone on different days, so I'm not sure, maybe there are two butlers or something. I don't know, but he was sus. The second day butler was sus. And he painted the walls green. Oh no, but the first day butler painted the walls green. I'm confused. But also the gemstone he was wearing. Maybe it was a magic gemstone. He's a witch! The butler is a witch! Got his name. Think back to how the alchemist study looked at the time of the incident. Do you remember any green walls? Yes, I do. Because I do not. They were not. They were. Right there. Right there. Exactly there. All the walls were coated with white plaster. In other words, it was impossible to use Godor in that room. I too have visited that alchemist study since the incident. I remember very well that all the walls in that room were a dull shade of white. Your little theory was interesting, Sir Knight in Blue, but it has proven to be nothing more than that, a mere wild guess. As long as you cannot prove, I can prove it, that this Godor spell was used, your little theory shall be considered no further. Or I can prove that it's possible at least. Alright, gimme the option. In all honesty, I was very surprised to learn of such a spell's existence. However, as long as it was impossible to have used the spell at the crime scene, your deduction leads us nowhere. Let me ask you now. Yes, Your Honor? Do you perchance have any proof that you could show us? Can you prove that it was feasible for the witch to have used Godor in that room? Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. This is no coincidence. The spell must have been used at the crime scene. Yes, I do have proof. Of course I have proof. The defense wishes to present evidence. Impossible. Very much possible. The determination in your eyes made me think you would. Now then, we shall allow the defense to present its evidence to the court. Here.
Take that!
The walls in the study are coated with white plaster. Not all of them, though. There's just one spot, which is green. Oh, there is? I noticed it when investigating the crime scene. You may recall that there was a small painting behind the desk. And for some reason, the wall behind it was painted green. It was what? I recall seeing that painting myself too. If you look at this floor plan, I'd say it was around here. Yes. Green wall, green painting, portal, butler. Or someone else. Mr. Wright, I'll mark it on the floor plan. Thank you. It's been bothering me since I saw it. But now it's clear what it was. At the time of the incident, a portal opened up behind that painting. In other words, that was the spell utilized for the spell good. Why was... But Layton was pointing that way? He was pointing this way. And there's the portal. And somehow the hand landed there. I mean, I suppose it makes sense why the scepter would be dropped here then, if they exited through the portal and dropped the scepter. But why was he pointing this way?
Objection!
You're certainly persistent. You just want a portal to be there so much, don't you? Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. I do. The wall behind the painting was green, and that's a fact. Incidentally, I remember that painting well. It was a small landscape piece. Yeah. Okay. Cool. About the size of, say, an opened, grand magic book. Yes, it was about that size indeed. Oh, Judge, you've been there too? A small, adorable picture, what? Even if a portal had opened in that small patch of green, no person would... Yes. because it was not a person. It was the familiar, wasn't it? Or maybe a witch that could turn into something small? Weightless? Flying? I don't know. No person would be able to pass through it. In fact, they'd just about be able to put their arm through at the most. I mean, that also works. Put your arm through, cast a spell. So, will you please explain how a witch could possibly have escaped through a portal? What if the witch had always been on the other side? He's right, Mr. Wright. No one could have got through that a portal that small. Well, either the familiar went through, or the witch was on the other side of the wall all along. How about that? Have you anything to say? Or are you so crushed by the realization of your mistake that words fail you? The portal was too small for a person. It doesn't require much thinking to figure that out. But that aside, a very obvious question remains. If it wasn't a human, then what could have passed through that portal? You've put an interesting spin on things. Why don't you answer your own question? You talk as if you know everything, so please, enlighten us. A small portal was opened in the wall at the crime scene. And I have all the clues as to what that could mean. Witch, a small animal, something else. Something else. No human could have passed through a portal that small. Even a witch couldn't have pulled that off. So are you finally forsaking your mistaken assumptions? I haven't finished, Inquisitor. The fact remains that something else could have passed through that portal. Oh, and just what would that be, Sir Blue Knight? The portal was created after the professor had been turned into gold. The witch had good reason behind that. She must have had to move something through that portal. You have captured my curiosity. I'd like to know what passed through the portal. I mean, it makes sense to say the witch was standing here and dropped the scepter there to frame Maya. But A, Layton was still pointing that way, and B, the portal was opened after Layton had been supposedly turned into gold. What can possibly go wrong?
Take that!
Considering the state of the crime scene, there's just one possible answer. And that is the Talea Magica.
Objection!
What's this now? The Talea Magica was found at the crime scene. A portal has nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? Inquisitor Barnham, you're making the wrong assumption. Wrong assumption? The witch wasn't trying to remove evidence from the crime scene. It wanted to add. She wanted to plant it. She threw the witch's scepter into the room through that portal.
Objection!
You and your crazy theories. Don't you even realize what you're saying? If she threw the staff into the room, that means... Exactly. She did it to deceive us. Her goal was to make us draw the wrong conclusions. When the incident took place, the witch herself wasn't in the room. She cast a spell from outside. Wait, but that's not possible either. Transmute the closest target within the range. Well, I suppose if it was within range, whatever the range is. Let me check the sketch again. Layton the closest target? I wanna check, let me click. If the witch was standing here... I mean here, there's the space. Well, I suppose it's possible that Layton was the closest within range, but it could have also accidentally hit Maya. Also depends on the range, doesn't it? And that's not all, there's even more proof that the staff was thrown into the room from the outside. What proof? That proof is none other than Professor Layton's previously severed right arm. The victim's arm. How does that prove anything? None of the witnesses have testified they saw the witch's scepter. However, a few of them claim to have heard it rattling across the floor. That's right. Please take a look at this floor plan. Since the arm was standing upright here, we know the defendant couldn't have been the one to have dropped the scepter. Now, think about it. Where would you need to drop the scepter from in order for it to end up here? Well, right from the portal, of course. Obviously. Oh. That's right. The scepter could only have come from the small portal created by the spell Godor. This is most unexpected. The witch wasn't in the room when the crime occurred. Or, at least, that's the defense's claim. Do we know... Can I... Oh, hey butler. Oh no, we don't... Chad, do we remember what colors the butler was wearing? I think it was an amethyst the first time, so purple. What was Jean wearing the second time? Something green, maybe? I don't remember. Do we know the spells? Probably not. Oh. Yeah, he was wearing this. Yes, the first time we met Jean, he was wearing a purple gem. And the second time we met Jean, he was wearing a green gemstone. I took notice of it changing. And he was sus. And he painted the walls green. He admitted to that. Jean is a witch, yes. Burn the witch. We figured it out. I mean, we still need to figure out how the professor was turned into gold, though, I guess. I suppose. Maybe. The only thing that explains all the contradictions we've run into.
Objection.
Not the poor table. Leave the poor table alone. Sir Blue Knight, with that imagination of yours, you could aspire to write fantasy stories. Ooh. A nice try, I must admit. However, this line of assertion is futile. There is a glaring contradiction in your words. Oh, is there? Another contradiction? Whatever you're referring to, Inquisitor Barnham. This is the Talea Magica that was used in the incident. As we have established, there are two magic gems. Hehehe. Hehehe. Way ahead of you, buddy. Way ahead of you. One for the gold transmutation spell, Godor, and one for the shadow familiar spell, Familia. A witch in possession of this staff would not have been able to cast Godor. Well. Yes, you're absolutely right. But you can't write off all the evidence supporting my theory as mere coincidence. Why must your agreement always be followed by a but? Cat butt. But, cat butt. What I'm getting at is... this Talea Magica is not genuine. Not genuine? That's right, and naturally, the one responsible for this deception is the real culprit of the crime. Enough of the suspense. It's too much for a man of my age. The defense shall reveal what is meant by the so-called deception. Oh, wait. Do they have different shapes? Oh. I mean, that checks out. Need to go back. I put the magnifying glass on. But it does look about right.
Got it!
Shit! I didn't mean to press that. Whoops! Oh, that was not intentional. I wanted to go back to the magic book. I hope that doesn't bite me in the... First, I want to clarify one thing. Can we be certain that the Talea Magica in question is authentic? Without doubt. I mean, they are not contradicting me, so apparently I accidentally pressed the right thing. Oops. Ah, lucky me. The metal rod in its center is called the Spina Magica? Magica? Madoka Magica? Magica. The witch's mark on its tip is clearly visible and highly detailed. Is it? It is impossible to forge even by the finest craftsman in all Labyrinthia. I can guarantee you its authenticity. That leaves us with only one possibility. The forgery in question is the familiar magic gem. Familiar magic gem. What? A forged magic gem?
Objection!
That is an insult to our investigators.
Objection!
Only witches can use the power of these magic gems, can't they? So tell me, how can you know whether a magic gem is the real thing or not?
Objection!
Hold it there. We know for certain that the spell Godor was used. Goldor. Goldor? Wait. Which one did he say? It is undoubtedly not forged. Goldor, I assume. Goldor. But what about Familia? Did anyone actually see a Familia at the crime scene? That's... 3 months ago, when an investigation was carried out into Sir Belduke's death, the results yielded the following conclusion. The spell Familia had been used to summon a Familia, which in turn carried out the murder. Yes, but that has nothing to do with the current case, does it? It could just be a different witch. Or a different... What was it called? Talea Magica? And the witch used exactly that to her advantage. Another similar incident at the same crime scene. Don't you think that would be the perfect opportunity for the witch to frame the defendant for her crimes? The defendant would be blamed for both the professor and Sir Belduke's deaths, and she'd be taken for the real witch. Oh. That was the real culprit's objective. Okay, but how do we know that it's fake? Because I have not yet figured that one out. I was trying to figure that out. There's a chapter in the Magic Archive, an old collection of tales of the occult, about the way to test whether or not a magic gem is genuine. Oh, okay. How can we test it, my lord? It is very simple. A genuine magic gem is composed of a mineral with a density lower than that of pure water. How convenient. How interesting. All you need to do is see if the magic gem floats on water. That is simple indeed. All non-magical minerals in our world, with the exception of stipulite and a few other special kinds, sink in water. Hey, is that true? I mean, it's probably true. It does make sense. These eerily sparkling magic gems, however, will never sink when put into water. Okay. Bailiff, remove this magic gem for immediate examination. Magic gems are fake? What's up with this trial? This is not how it was supposed to be. It's alright, darling, don't cry. You'll get to see a witch burning today. The Barnham never disappoints us. Hush now, there. Barnham, Barnham, Barnham. Defender, if your theory is correct, this could be the biggest occult crime in history. What's so bad about just taking off a gemstone from a magic scepter? But another important question remains. I wonder if you can answer it. Who is the supposed real witch that threw the Talea Magica through the portal? The butler. Obviously. The real witch. There's only one person that comes to mind. Frankly, I still find it hard to believe, but it's the only possibility. Once I indict her, there'll be no turning back. Knowing the consequences, should I give them her name? Wait. Was Jean a girl all along? Or are they misgendering Jean? I thought Jean was a boy. In Labyrinthia, witches are punished by fire. I know you think that's going too far. But even in a world that seems so insane to you, those who take the lives of others must be punished. That's a universal law, isn't it? The witch turned the professor into a gold statue, and that's not all. She took the life of the alchemist too, and now she's trying to spin the whole thing on Maya. Jean is more of a girl's name, you thought? It's sort of gender neutral to me. I can't just let her get away with that. The butler's a witch. Yes, we've been calling it all along. Well then, defense, let us hear your theory. How about non-binary, Jean? That would be so cool. You're a witch?
Take that!
But they would never catch you. I would never let them catch you. You're my human. No one gets to catch my human. Except for me. When you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be true. There's only one logical possibility. It has to be that person. The real witch is Jean Grail. Grail? Heard that name somewhere. Wait, isn't that the butler who served Sir Balduke? A classic line. Yes, pilfered straight from Sherlock Holmes. That's correct.
Objection!
What's this about? You seem to love rolling about all these ridiculous suggestions. But you know— oh no. Are we getting into a gender debate now? Oh no. But you ignore the obvious. Jean Grail is a male. So what? Consider Barnum, tell me one thing. Is it only females who can be witches? You need more food. I mean, you have more food in the kitchen, don't you? I also have more food in the kitchen. Are you daft? Of course it's only females. Hey, discrimination. The alchemist was also a witch. You already ate that? I see. Never in the plate is empty. You could get bread and dunk it into the sauce that's left over. For example. Never in the history of this court has there ever been a male witch. Wow. You just haven't caught one yet. You're so utterly ignorant, you should be ashamed of yourself. Alright, well, I'd like to ask another question. Is Jean Grail really a male? Hey. Hey. If Jean wants to be a boy, let him be a boy. What a ludicrous question. The defense is certain that Jean Grail is the witch responsible for using magic on Professor Layton. But also, I was correct. Jean was presented to us as a boy. Will you stop fooling around? This is a groundless accusation.
Objection!
Groundless, you say? I'm afraid that's where you're wrong. At the time of the crime, Jean Grail was in the room next to the alchemist's study. And one of the walls in that very room was painted green. It was? What's more, that green wall was the one adjacent to Sir Balduke's study. What? This is madness. It is. Logic. Inquisitor Barnham, quickly, have the butler summoned to the court. Have Jean Grail be brought here immediately. Certainly, my lord, it shall be done.
There is no need for that.
Hello.
I am here. I shall come down right away.
Hello.
Ah, it's you.
Well then, Mr. Wright, shall we begin?
Jean Grail. It would seem this trial has turned in a new direction. I think we all need a bit of time to take it in. We shall take a brief intermission. Oh. Okay. Inquisition, defense, sharpen your swords and wits to prepare yourselves for the next stage of this battle. Yes, your honor. It shall be done, my lord. By the time we resume, the examination into the magic gem should have ended as well. Now, the court is adjourned for a brief intermission. To be continued. Result of the gender debate. Phoenix sort of was like, is Jean really a boy? And I was like, let the boy be a boy if he wants to be a boy. No idea. I guess we are gonna find out. I'm not exactly a fan of this. Also, mouse. Right. So it's got to be that, young butler. I know what you're thinking. Couldn't quite believe it at first either. But the evidence and circumstances all point to the butler. He or she has to be the witch. At least, it will be certain if the magic gem turns out to be a fake. How long does it take to put a magic gem into water? But if that's the case, then Belduke's murderer was also... Yeah, it would be Grail. No, it can't be true. He wouldn't have done that. Espella? I know Jean. He had Sir Belduke in the greatest of respect. Jean didn't kill him, I'm sure of it. Jean Grail, are you really what people think you are? There's still so many unknown factors in this trial. Huh. Hey, Luke. It's Luke. I'm sorry, Maya. What I did is unforgivable. What are you saying, Luke? All you did was testify about what you saw. But I should have trusted you. Well, you trust us now, right? Maya. Anyway, Luke, it was thanks to you that we discovered new information. Thanks to me? Oh, you got Cracker to testify. That was a great idea. I wish I could talk to animals. Don't you too, Isabella? Oh yes, I'd love to have a chat with Eve. So, Luke, will you teach us how to do it? Pretty please? Yeah, of course, I can try. Yay, that's a promise, right? Mr. Wright? What is it, Luke? Do you mind if I join you from now on? Not at all, Luke. I realized during the trial that in this strange town, even what you see with your own eyes may not be real. That's why I'm not giving up yet. Professor, I know he'll return. We can't give up hope. You know, that's what I've been thinking too. Really? I have a feeling he'll reappear again when we get into trouble and help us out. Because, I mean, it's the professor we're talking about here. Right. And remember what he always says. Look forward to the future. Always look on the bright side. He doesn't actually say that, does he? I don't remember Layton ever saying that. I don't think it was the professor who said that. Yeah, exactly. Offender. Accused. The intermission's over. Return to the courtroom. Let's go. It's time to bring this trial to a close. Oh, I have something for you, Mr. Wright. License lender, indeed. Here, please take it. Maybe it will come in handy in the trial. A letter, huh? Let's see what's from... Wait, Newton Belduke? There are several sheets of parchment inside, but they're all blank. I've been wondering whether it's invisible ink or something. The professor and I got this when we went to see the storyteller. Thank you, Luke. The more info we have, the better. You're welcome. Okay. I've got no proof that it was Jean Grail who turned the professor into gold. Even if the magic gem is a fake, it's still not decisive evidence. Yeah, but what about the magic gem Jean is carrying on their throat? I don't know what will happen next, but I do know this battle is far from over. How late is it? Okay, we got 3/4 of an hour left. Ooh. Alright. Alright, let's go. We will now resume the trial of Maya Fey. First things first, the occult crime analysts have finished examining the evidence. They have tested the 2 magic gems from the witch's scepter. You mean they put them into water? And watched them float? Guldor floated on the surface of the water, whereas Famalia sank. It was said that genuine magic gems float in pure water, wasn't it? Thus, it has been established that the Famalia magic gem is a fake. Order. Order. Order in court. This does not prove that Guldor was used, of course. Nonetheless, the defense's theory does now seem more plausible. The court considers it worth looking into. You have no objection to that, do you, Inquisitor Barnham? No, my lord. Right. Now then, bring in the witness. Hello. Hey, where's your gemstone? Where is it? Where did you put it? Where's your gemstone? Witness, state your name and profession. My name is Jean Grail. I serve the late Master Balduke. Since his death, I have been tending to his dwelling and putting his research materials in order. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something a bit different. Yes. The gemstone that magically changed color is missing. Phoenix, it's so obvious. Witness, there's something we need to clarify first of all. As you are no doubt aware, you have been accused of being a witch. Therefore, it is vital that you tell us. Are you... I'm getting Pokemon flashback. Are you a boy or a girl? And I go, I'm neither, but that option doesn't exist, it's so mean. Please hold on. Why? What is it? Excuse my rudeness, my lord, but at this time, I don't intend to answer that question. As is your right. You don't need to answer that question. You are a girl. Ah, that's an easy answer. Other people do not have that privilege of an easy answer. Ah, what's a girl anyway? What's a boy? What is gender? Just something the humans made up, isn't it? Why do you refuse to answer, witness? I had been following this trial from the gallery, and so I'm fully aware of the utterly absurd accusations made against me. Alchemy, the art pursued by Master Balduke, is concerned with the rules and logic that govern nature. As someone who had been helping Master Balduke for quite some time, I dare say your theory is both illogical and impossible.
Objection!
The witch's scepter was thrown into the crime scene through a portal created by the magical spell Guldor. That portal could only have been opened from your room. And what's more, one of the walls in your room is painted green. I believe anyone is free to paint their walls in whichever color they please. Besides, your theory relies on one magic gem being a fake. While that may have been proven true, another question has arisen. Where could the genuine magic gem be? Yes, where did you put it? You were wearing it earlier, where did you put it? It must have been swapped with the fake one and discarded somewhere. I'm afraid that's impossible. Why? If we assume, as you have claimed, that the witch used the spell Guldor, that would mean the witch gem must have been swapped after creating the portal. So tell me, when and where would the witch have disposed of the magic gem? I see your point. Several people paid witness to the incident, and the Knights of the Inquisition arrived at the scene immediately after. During that time, no one left the building, and the whole place was meticulously searched. Naturally, the room was searched as well, although there was not much to see, as I have few personal belongings. Despite our inspection, nothing resembling a magic gem was found. I assure you, we have not overlooked anything. I would swear to it on my honor as a knight. So, Mr. Wright, if you wish to accuse me of being a witch, should you not first prove that there is a connection between me and this missing magic gem? Furthermore, I would appreciate it if you could please approach the matter in a rational way, like an alchemist. The house was searched very soon after the crime. The gem wasn't found, and that means Grail hid it somewhere. Ah, yes, we know. Somewhere the Knights of the Inquisition would not have looked. Where could it be? Where indeed? Come on, let me tell them. The witness has made a valid argument. How will the defense respond? The Knights who searched Sir Balduke's premises weren't looking for a magic gem. That's why there's a certain place they didn't consider searching. Interesting. You really don't give up easily, do you? In that case, perhaps you could tell us all where the magic gem is. The Balduke's premises were thoroughly searched. I don't think anything would have been missed there. You anticipated that, and that's why you hid it in a blind spot that you knew wouldn't occur to the Knights. A blind spot, you say? Well, where is it? It's somewhere on Jean Grail's person. What? It's on the witness? Don't tell me. The witness has it in their pocket. You're just guessing, aren't you? You think you can just say anything you like. By the way, I'm afraid there are no pockets on my clothing. This is the second time I've seen Grail today. And both times, I've had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. Maybe it's just me, but it could be related to the whereabouts of the magic... Why are you talking in such a roundabout way? Just spell it out. Just let me spell it out already. Defense, show us the location of the magic gem. Where do you think this witness hid the magic gem on the day of the crime? Well, on the day of the crime, it was right there.
Got it!
Witness, we met for the first time at Sir Balduke's premises. At the time, you had an amethyst attached to your collar. Oh, that's right. Mr. Grail always wears that gemstone. Alchemists believe that amethysts emit positive energy. Amethysts are purple. But when I saw you in the waiting room this morning, the gemstone you were wearing was green, not purple. So my question is, where is it gone? Where is that amethyst that you supposedly always wear?
Objection!
Wait just a minute. The witness wears a purple gemstone. Is something I'm missing, Inquisitor Barnham? Yes, indeed. Have you figured it out, Barnham? When we arrived at the crime scene, the witness came out to meet us. I recall the witness wearing a gemstone, but that gemstone was green. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Green. Amethysts aren't green. Although amethysts sometimes mistake perseolite for amethyst, but that's irrelevant now. Why does the judge know this? Witness. You've been trying to pin the blame on the defendant. In order to do that, you replaced the Gordor magic gem with a regular gemstone. We thought the witch who killed Sir Balduke had used the spell Familia. You knew that if a witch's scepter with the Familia and Gordor magic gems attached was discovered at the crime scene, the suspect would be accused of committing both crimes, and that's precisely what happened. The girl captured at the crime scene was accused of slaying both Sir Balduke and Sir Layton. I wonder what Jean would have done if there hadn't been a girl at the scene of the crime, since everyone's convinced only girls can be witches. Or women can be witches, I guess. What was your plan? You removed the Gordor magic stone from the scepter and inserted your amethyst in its place. And then you attached a Gordor gem to your collar. That's why, when we saw you shortly after the incident, you were wearing a green gemstone. Oh, hey Barnham, are you on our side now? To think, that was in fact a magic gem.
Order! Order! Witness, is that true?
This amounts to nothing more than conjecture. I do not believe you have any solid proof. However, I have to concede that you have surmised a logical connection between me and the missing magic gem. Consequently, I am prepared to answer your questions.
I kind of like the way Jean talks.
Good. I will repeat what I asked you previously. Witness, state your name, profession, and finally, your gender.
My name is Jean Grail. I have been serving the late Master Belduke. As you can see, I wear a butler's outfit. But the truth is, as the defense claims, I am a girl.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Oh, with long hair too.
A
Cute.
girl? Unbelievable.
What? The butler is a girl?
Order. Order. Order in the court. Jean Grail, are you declaring to this court that you are, in fact, female? Yes. But everyone in town was under the impression that you are a boy. Hey. People are allowed to be boys sometimes and girls sometimes. Did you hear that? The butler's a girl. Doesn't that make him, her, a maid? I knew there was something suspicious about him. I mean, her. You know why, right? Think about it. All that alchemy, that's mighty suspicious. Just listen to them. Listen to the wild gossip and accusations. Alchemists have due knowledge of the rules that govern nature. But to the townspeople, alchemy is no different to magic. Had they known I was a girl, they would have taken me for a witch. That's what Master Belduke was worried about. He told me it would be safer to pretend to be a boy. In other words, you disclose that you are a female, but deny that you're a witch. I would have thought that was obvious. You knew that once her gender came into question, she wouldn't have been able to conceal it. That's why she's made this public now. It was the most rational choice for her. Inquisitor Barnham, may I ask you one question? Has all the evidence in this Golden Gentleman case already been presented? Why do you ask? As it stands, you do not have a single piece of evidence proving that I am a witch. Given the lack of pertinent evidence against me, I would like to be permitted to return to my duties. What say you, Inquisitor Barnham? Also, what duties? You were watching the entire trial, not doing your duties before. Why do you need to do your duties now? It has been proven that the two gems were swapped. However, it may also have been possible for the accused to have done so.
Objection!
Maya had no reason to swap the gems. This is a place of judgment. There is no need for us to understand the reasons behind a criminal's actions. Huh? After all, those whom we judge are otherworldly creatures. They are witches. It is impossible for a human being to understand the reasoning of a witch. Oh. Thesea, are you a human or are you a witch? Which one is it? Which one are you? Apparently, a human cannot be a witch, and a witch cannot be human. Then nothing we can do. At this rate, Maya will be... Barnham still thinks Maya is a witch. Made it this far, and yet it feels like we're back at stage 1. It seems there are no more rational arguments against me. Now, if you will kindly excuse me. Don't have much on Grail when it comes to the Professor's case. You choose to make use of your right to remain silent. Fair. Fair. But should I just let her go? What do we want to do? Wait and see what happens seems like a bad idea. Continue questioning? Ask about another case. Wait, we can ask about the alchemist's case, can't we? There's nothing else I can follow up on regarding the professor's case. So what can I do? There's only one other option. Miss Grayle, I have to ask you to remain as the witness stand. Is there something else you wish to ask me? Your testimony is not over yet. There's still something you need to tell us about. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I cannot help you. I have told you all I could about this incident. And I'm afraid you've got the wrong idea, Miss Grayle. Your Honor, what this witness needs to testify about is not the Professor's unfortunate incident, but rather the incident from 3 months ago, namely Sir Balduke's death. As she was present in the building at the time, working as a live-in butler, she needs to testify about the events of that day. About Sir Balduke's death. The fact that one of the magic gems was swapped leads me to a single conclusion. Both crimes, the murder of Sir Balduke and the transmutation of the Professor, were the work of the same witch. The truth behind the alchemist's death may also hold the answer to this case. What is your opinion on this, Inquisitor Barnham? I'll allow you to have your way this time, Sir Blue Knight. The Inquisition has no objections. Oh wow, no objections. Inquisitor Zacharias Barnham. It seems you have lost that unyielding attitude so admired by the townspeople. Here you are now, letting a novice defender lead you by the nose. It is hard to... Whoops. Sorry. Didn't mean to skip that. You know little about me, witness. Do you think I care about defending my name? It is this town that I wish to defend. Sir Balduke's murder is the only case to have remained unsolved for so long. Okay. Jean Grayle, you shall now testify about it. All right. As demanded by both the defense and the Inquisition, the witness will testify about Sir Balduke's death. Any questions? No, my lord. I must, however, mention one more thing before we begin. If it cannot be proven that Jean Grayle is a witch, as claimed by the defense, the court will irrevocably consider my FA to be the witch responsible for both crimes. Wow. Way to put pressure on Phoenix. Is that understood? You have no choice, Sir Blue Knight. If you don't want the trial to end right now, ready your sword and face the challenge that awaits. But the opponent is a real witch. It's a gamble that puts Maya's life at stake.
Nick!
Maya?
No witch is gonna outwit you in court. You're an ace attorney after all. So, let's do it!
The defense accepts the conditions. Let's proceed with the trial. Inquisitor Barnham, you may begin. We shall start with a brief summary of the incident. About 3 months ago, in the dead of night, Sir Balduke, the alchemist, was murdered. The crime took place in his study. Just as with this incident, the room had been locked from the inside. The victim was found still seated in the chair at his desk, so we can assume he was attacked while working. Oh. Was he strangulated from behind? Oh. Forgot to read that out loud. There's something trickling down from his mouth. Is that blood? Yes, most likely. The victim probably bit his tongue as he was struggling with the assailant. And you said earlier that some white powder was spilled all over the floor, correct? Yes, hence we expected to find the killer's footprints. However, there were none. The killer must have somehow approached the victim without stepping on the floor. Yeah. Using the portal to strangulate him from behind. Easy. No footprints. After murdering Sir Belduke, the killer left the room without opening the door. Undoubtedly, the crime must have been committed with the use of witchcraft. The body was discovered the following morning by the butler, Grail. Body was found by Grail, huh? Thank you, Inquisitor Bonham. The court illustrator's sketches will be added to the evidence. Okay. Let me look at them. Witness, begin your testimony. Tell us about the events spanning the night of the crime. From the evening beforehand until you discover the body. Yes. Magic circle. Witch. Strangulated. Also the shape, right? If you put the fingers, it fits. There's a picture reaching out. Strangle him. And I guess the powder was spilled to do the footprint thingy. At around 1 o'clock at night, I excused myself and left Master Belduke in his study. When I called him for breakfast in the morning, he did not respond. The door to his study was locked. A neighbor had come for a visit just then, so we forced the door open together. All the potions and other concoctions from the study have been confiscated. I wonder if they are being properly stored. Potions and concoctions were confiscated? The victim was an alchemist after all. We were hoping the items confiscated from his study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall in the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person with access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Dogclaw. It has caused me great difficulty, as I have not been able to put Master's research materials in order as a result. The confiscated items shall be returned as soon as Sir Belduke's murder is resolved. I shall be looking forward to that. Offense, you may begin the interrogation. Okay. One o'clock at night.
Hold it!
Isn't that pretty late for normal people? So you last saw him alive at 1 AM, is that correct? Yes. Master had a habit of conducting his experiments at night, so it was the usual time for me to finish my work. Fair. Same. Weren't you helping him with those experiments? He would sometimes have some errands for me, but alchemists generally keep their experiments a secret. That's why I would always excuse myself at that time, unless Master had some other tasks for me. And that night, there was no more work for you? That's correct. I wished Master good night, as I shut the door behind me and then heard him lock the key. There was nothing unusual about him, at least, nothing I noticed. He did not respond.
Hold it!
And what time was that? Master would always take his breakfast at 9 AM. Wow. Did Belduke never sleep? Also, does that mean Jean only got like 7 to 8 hours of sleep? No, wait, if he takes his breakfast at 9 AM, it has to be ready at 9 AM, so she got 7 hours at most. So you didn't have the key to Sir Belduke's study, is that correct? Yes. There's only one key to that room, and Master always kept it with him. The power of naps. Naps don't help. At least they don't help me. I wouldn't be so tired if they helped. Master's research was a very delicate matter, you see. We had to take strict measures to prevent outsiders from entering that room. Occasionally, delinquents would try to make off with one or other of Master's medicaments. Some people in this world only need 4 hours of sleep every night. Man. I need 10. That's like almost half the day gone. He's stealing from an alchemist? Can't tell if that's incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably the latter. That's why the door to that room is made from thick oak wood. I wouldn't have been able to force the door open on my own. She couldn't have entered the room before that then. Neighbor.
Hold it!
Wait, you mean you broke the door? The only key to that room was in Sir Belduke's pocket. The only way to enter the study was to break the door open. And you managed that with the help of a neighbor who came to visit. Yes. It wasn't a social visit, mind. He came as a patient. Patient? Can you tell me more about him?
Objection!
Hey, leave the poor table alone. The victim's neighbor is irrelevant. He has nothing to do with this case. But he's a witness. Oh, I think you're pushing it this time. A witness is hardly irrelevant. Yes, exactly. What's got him so shaken? He looks as if he just had a rush of blood to his head, to the head. Master Belduke had been making very potent medicines, among other things. He would get people coming from the town at all hours of the day or night asking for them. And yet, in return for all the help Master offered, people would gossip about him dabbling in witchcraft. He was a witch. So you broke the door together with a neighbor? Yes, when I explained the situation to him, he brought over an axe. Then he proceeded to attack the door with great force, smashing it to splinters. Does that mean they replaced the door? I thought they left the place untouched. Well, they must have replaced the door in that case. I see. By the way, about that neighbor. Who was... What now?
It's time for Emir's grand entrance.
No.
Did you miss me, guys?
No, I did not. I did not miss you. No. I did miss you.
Order! Order! Could it be that it was you who...
Where are you looking, old man? I'm right here. And as for who I am, I'm the alchemist's neighbor and a witness in that case too.
Why is the bard back? What is he doing here? Oh, they did... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They voiced everything except the bard. Damn it. Passion for justice seething within. Emilia is always at the crime scene. That does not rhyme.
Objection!
It's you again. Yeah, Phoenix and I understand each other in that one. We understand each other there. Sing? Cecilia, no. I can't. I can't. Your ears would bleed. Also, his music doesn't even rhyme properly. Oh, you're the guy from earlier, right? Yep, that's me. Amy is the name. How you been, Bluey? You're really the alchemist's neighbor? Seriously? I know, right? Freaky coincidence, eh? But yeah, his house is next to mine. Ridiculed earlier, Emir returns, drinking like a king he never ever learns. That's why I tried to stop you from asking about the neighbor. Oh. Huh? Why so cold, Inquisitor Barnham? Unable to hold his steady, cold gaze, Emir drinks fast as if in a daze. And the musician standing next to you? Oh yeah, that's my private bard, Birdie. A right music genius. What? Musical genius. Hold on, hold on. Oh dearie, dearie me. Oh dearie me. Conan, he's also at every crime scene? Yeah. Every murder ever taking place. There are a lot of murders in Conan's world. Well, no use shutting the stable door after the horse is bolted. Let us move on. Witness, since you're already here, you may as well add your testimony. Testify about what you witnessed on the morning after the crime. You encounter me. Okay. Encounter me then. The witch cast Famalia, just like in this case.
Objection!
Excuse me. There's something you don't seem to understand here. We don't need to hear the rest of this. We don't need to hear the rest of this. The Famalia gem in this witch's scepter is a fake. The gem is useless. Just like this buffoon's testimony. Huh? Therefore, your testimony doesn't hold water. Just like anything else he says. Shush. What? Ignored and scorned without credibility. Will majestic Emir now show humility? No. No, he won't. What? A fake? You should have listened to the trial more carefully. Now that has been dealt with. Inquisitor Barnham. This witch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Sir Beldew was murdered, is that correct? Indeed. We deduced that Famalia must have been used, however.
Objection!
But that Famalia magic gem was a fake. That much has been demonstrated today. What's more, as we've learned from Cracker, the parrot's testimony, the witch used the spell Godor. The fact that there's a green wall at the crime scene corroborates that.
Objection!
That wall may well not have been painted green 3 months ago. And besides, no one could have passed through a portal so small. You don't need to pass through, you just need your hands. Easy. To be honest, I've started wondering, were Sir Layton's and Sir Beldew's murders actually committed by the same witch?
Objection!
Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that was the Inquisition's claim. Heh, got you right there. He's right though. It's got to be the same culprit in both cases. And, at the very least, it's possible that the witch used the spell Godor to commit Sir Beldew's murder. What? In that case, I will ask the defense to show us proof. Do you have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Beldew? Yes, this one.
Take that!
I'd like you to take a look at these. Are those the court illustrator's sketches? As you can see from this sketch, the victim was seated at his desk when he was murdered. And what can you see right behind the victim? A small landscape painting. Thank you, Inquisitor. Well, there's one more point of note. Look closely at the painting. Do you notice anything behind it? Oh, I see it. The wall behind it had already been painted green. Which means the witch could have used the portal spell there 3 months ago.
Objection!
One moment, my lord. Consider how small that portal would have been. Would a witch have passed through it? I think not.
Objection!
Of course, the witch would not have been able to go right through it. However, if you look at the distance between the portal and the victim, you'll notice that the victim, Sir Beldew, was sitting just an arm's length from the portal, from where the portal would have been. Called it. Called it. The witch did not have to enter the room at all. All she had to do was reach through with her arms in order to strangle Sir Beldew, who was sitting right under the painting. Nyah-ha-ha-ha-ha. Order. Inquisitor Barnham, what say you to that? A festering theory, Sir Blue Knight. But there is a notable contradiction within it, is there? Where would that be? Tell me, why do you think we concluded that Famalia had to have been used? We had a certain reason for it, of course. And what was that reason exactly? The crime scene had been tampered with. How so? Imagine the circumstances of Sir Beldew's death, and it should become obvious, even to you. The victim was choked to death. And yet there were no signs of a struggle. Highly improbable, don't you think? Maybe he was asleep? Would he wake up from being strangled? Probably. Maybe he was drugged. What are you getting at? Think about it. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly there should have been evidence of a struggle. Oh! The blood trickling down from his mouth? So he was poisoned. Or at the very least drugged. And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. Indeed, it would have been the logical conclusion. No, surely it would be impossible to do any such thing, and the witch only reached inside through a portal. In order to cover up the evidence she left behind, the witch had to have used a familiar. Without doing so, there would have been no point in her using the spell Guru.
Objection!
Mr. Grail could have done it. She might have been able to tamper with the crime scene. What are you talking about? The morning of the crime, from the time Miss Grail and that guy entered the study, until the arrival of the Knights of the Inquisition, there was a window of time in which she had the opportunity to do so. The neighbor has poison? He does. Or at least a bottle labeled with poison. We need to look into what happened in that window. It seems we may be in need of another testimony. Witnesses testify about what happened in the time between the body being found and the Knights of the Inquisition arriving. Sure thing. Ask me anything. I'll tell you all you need to know. I hate you so much. Oh, glorious Emir, tell us more. Maybe you won't be laughed at as before. Only 2 people assessed the crime scene at that time, Grail and Emir. Believe it or not, Emir is the key witness in this case. Okay. I broke down the door and saw the alchemist stumped in his chair. Gave me a jolt. The butler hurried to call the Knights of the Inquisition. He never entered the study. What did I do then? Ah, yeah. I was asked to keep an eye on things, so I went in to have a bit of a look at everything. All that made me pretty drowsy, so I went and took a little nap on the couch. What? Wait, what? Mr. Mia? You said the butler didn't enter the crime scene. Yep, never set foot in there. The moment he saw Belduke, he told me to stand guard till the Knights of the Inquisition arrived. And then off he went. What a resourceful apprentice that alchemist has, I thought to myself. I almost feel sorry for you, Sir Blue Knight. After all, your suspect couldn't have tampered with the crime scene. That won't be true. Defense, please proceed with the interrogation. Yes, Your Honor. I want to know what's up with that bottle. What is up with this bottle? Right.
Hold it!
Are you sure the butler didn't enter the crime scene? Yeah, like I said, he didn't set foot in that room. I went in and sort of didn't know what to do, but the butler sussed out the situation in the blink of an eye. He told me to stand guard, and then he ran out. You went to call the Knights of the Inquisition, is that correct? That is correct. I went to the nearby garrison. We have the records of when the crime was reported. They match the witness's testimony. I returned to Master Balduke's house with 2 knights. They began an investigation immediately, taking away Master's research materials and concoctions. In the end, I wasn't able to enter that room that day. There can be no doubt about it. As she is the alchemist's apprentice, she was under close observation following the incident. I wasn't aware of that. So in the end, she didn't have access to the crime scene at all on that day, huh? I mean, there's still the spell Gordor and the portal. By the way, what were you doing at that time? Huh? What? Me? Did I do that now? Yeah. I was keeping an eye on things, so I went in and have a bit of a look at everything. What were you having a look at? Oh, well, I was asked to take care of the crime scene, wasn't I? Had to, like, make sure everything was in order. I mean, you know, not like I went wild with excitement after being left in a real alchemist's room full of mysterious stuff. Sure you did, Mr. Sticky Fingers. And besides, she asked me to look for something, so I was doing that too. Interesting that he now switched pronouns. Because earlier he was calling the butler vegan. Miss Grayle, you look lost, I thought. Oh, you were talking to me. Maybe she can be caught off guard, if I choose the right moment. You've been listening to Mr. Emir's testimony, haven't you? Yes, I have. He was asked to look for something. It was you who asked him, I presume. What did you tell him to look for? I think you're mistaken. I don't remember making any request of that sort. Huh? Hey, Bluey! Were you even listening to what I said? It was a lady that asked... Oh. Oh, so it was an intentional pronoun change. I see. The butler is a guy, you numbskull. Thank you, Emir. Thank you, Emir. Hey, what's up? Why is everyone looking at me like that? Quite a while ago we learned that the butler Jean Grayle is actually female. What? That's why, when you said a lady asked you to search for something, we assumed it was Miss Grayle. What? Daydreaming, listening, but not hearing. That look of shock is almost endearing. What the... Why did no one tell me that? Do you require personal notification? You should have been listening to the trial. Knights of the court, scrabbling with a witness is most unseemly. What I would like to know is this. Who was the lady that made the request of Emir? Oh yeah, that was actually Miss...
He's absolutely certainly talking about me.
Oh, hi.
Oh, and you are?
Long time no see.
Hang on a minute. I'll get down there post haste.
She gave us puzzles.
But, Miss Letty, who are you precisely?
Me? Who am I? I'm Letty Mailer. I'm the courier.
Courier. A courier is a person who collects and delivers letters. Or packages. Yes, we know that. Thank you. I know. Thanks anyways, but I wish you'd stop misreading my mind. Hold on, Miss Mailer. Do you mean it was you who irresponsibly made such a request to that troublemaker? Me? Maybe. Yes, I guess so. I asked him to help me find something. Outrageous. Why was I not informed of this? I guess no one told you. Maybe because you didn't ask? Oh. Fair, I guess. It seems we'll need to ask you to testify, Miss Mailer. Explain to us how you were involved in this case. Frankly, I wouldn't say that I was involved in anything. Now I'm in a tight spot. Bet it's because that guy said something weird about me. Ha ha ha, ease up on me, lady. Like the saying goes. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. Beats being in a pickle on your own, eh? Right. Now then, Miss Letty Mailer, testify about that day. Okay. That voice could make windows shatter. Sir Belduc said he'd have a letter to send, so I came to pick it up.
Hold it!
You mean you came to pick up a letter from Sir Belduc? Yes, I was told by Sir Belduc that it would be ready in the morning. What's more, it was extremely important. I felt a sense of duty surging within me. Someone just react.
Hang on!
Miss Grayle, I have a question. Yes, what is it? Did anything catch your attention during Miss Mailer's statement? Nothing in particular. At any rate, to begin with, I was not aware of the fact that the courier visited us that day. Ah, that's right. You were in there when I arrived. And once I found the letter, I left immediately. Did you know about this letter, witness? I would never pry into Master's personal matters, such as his correspondence. Well, that should conclude the testimony. Wait, was it only this one line? Now we know there's a third witness. but Miss Maynard only came to pick up a letter. That doesn't help us much, does it? Well, perhaps there's more to it than meets the eye. A letter, huh? I mean, we do have a letter. Do I just present that? Right. Yes. Okay. This one.
Objection!
The letter you found that morning. Was it by any chance this one here? Oh. I really just needed to present it. Okay. I'll take it. Huh. Yes, that's the one. But wait, how did you get it? You're a piece of work, alright?
Objection!
Hold it, Sir Blue Knight. How did you come by that letter? It just sort of fell into my lap, so to speak. It was the professor who found it, but he doesn't need to know that. Defender, just what in the world are the contents of that letter? Well, the letter's blank. What? All this fuss over a blank letter. As you can see, there are some sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Indeed, and there's not a trace of ink on them. What is the meaning of this? Don't forget that Sir Belduc was an alchemist. He may have used some kind of invisible ink. Yeah, I was thinking that too, to write that letter. I mean, it's the most obvious thing, but what if it's actually blank? What then? What then? About that, it doesn't make sense to me. What? Miss Mailer? Thing is, when I saw that letter, all the pages were full of writing, so, you know.
Objection!
Hold it, witness. You saw the contents of Sir Belduc's letter. Oh, I didn't read it. It's just that, you see... Witness, this is an important matter. You will need to testify about it. Tell us what you know about this letter. Okay. That night, probably about 1 AM, I made... 1 AM? I made a delivery to Sir Belduc. He was writing a letter at the time. It will be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow morning. That's what he said. It wouldn't even be tomorrow morning anymore, would it? If it's 1 AM? Well, I left his study and wished the butler good night. Then I went home. I went there again the next morning. As promised, Sir Belduc was... Well, anyway, I looked for the letter. And that guy went out like a light on the couch. I got a little scared, so I left as soon as I found the letter. I see, I see. Do you witness the victim write the letter? I wouldn't say witnessed. That sounds so legal. The sheets of parchment were on his desk, though, I saw that. They were covered in writing, margin to margin. But you don't know what the letter was about? Telling you would be a breach of our privacy policy. I can't reveal its contents, or who it was addressed to. Oh, of course, I understand. Frankly, I didn't get close enough to Sir Belduc's desk, so I couldn't make out what he was writing. In any case, where did you find the letter the morning after the victim was found dead? On a shelf, next to his desk, in a small letterbox. What? How did she get that without disturbing the crime scene, or the powder, or anything else? Ah yes, right there, next to his head. I was a teeny little bit scared, though, coming so close to a dead man. So that's where she took the letter from. It was right next to a corpse, huh? How? Now that the circumstances are clear, we shall proceed to the cross-examination. About 1 AM.
Hold it!
That's pretty late to be making a delivery. Look, he's an alchemist. He gets loads of strange packages. That's why. He'd often order various implements from the glass craftsman, or have someone gather wild herbs for him. He usually carried out his experiments at night, so yeah, he often needed items delivered in the middle of the night. Did Sir Belduc seem all that different than normal when you saw him that night? Different? Let me think. Actually, yes. I think it was about 3 days before Sir Belduc's death. I mean, that lightning strike.
Hang on!
What is it? Did anything in Miss Mailer's statement catch your attention? Well, just a lightning strike. Master Belduke did certainly change following that event. I wonder why it affected him so much. An alchemist and the sudden appearance of an old bell tower. Could there be some sort of connection between them? By the way, that strange lightning strike was not the result of witchcraft. A lightning bolt striking and a bell tower appearing is not witchcraft? Okay. I see. Well then, let us carry on. I think I can hear a dog barking. I'll pick it up tomorrow morning. Wish the butler good night. We believe what we want to believe. Yeah. That's why it's called justice, because it's just us. You saw the letter he was writing? I told you before, there were sheets of parchment with writing on them on his desk. I had a very quick look. There were so many sheets. The letter must have been very long. Then how can you explain the letter being blank now? That's just it. That's what I'd like to know as well. Right. The Belduke. He was holding a pen when I arrived with the delivery, so he was in the middle of writing. And also, he told me to pick up the letter next morning. And then he left his study. Butler, good night. That would be Jean. Wait a minute. When you say the butler, you mean... Miss Grail, of course. He was in the corridor carrying a tray.
Hang on!
Miss Grail, I'd like to ask you something. Oh, certainly. What is it? You stated previously that you excused yourself and left Sir Belduke's study shortly after 1 AM. Yes, that is correct. However, according to Miss Mailer's testimony, the two of you came across each other while you were waiting outside that room. Why didn't you mention that until now? That's because... I apologize. I'm afraid I completely forgot to mention it. You forgot. Miss Mailer very often comes with deliveries during the night. I did see her that night as well, but I didn't think much of it, as it's nothing unusual. I had no reason to hide that from you. Please forgive me for the confusion. Well, that kind of thing can happen. Human memory is in no way perfect. I don't imagine there's a problem here, is there? On the contrary, Your Honor. There's one more thing Miss Grail forgot to mention. What is it? I'd like you to recall what Miss Mailer said about having met Miss Grail that night. Well, Miss Grail, apparently you were carrying a tray at the time. What do you have to say about that? Jean Grail, I believe you should add that to your testimony. As you wish, my lord. It's unlikely she really forgot about it. The fact she tried to hide it must mean something. Miss Mailer left just as I was bringing Master his usual drink.
Hold it!
What do you mean, by usual drink? When Master's experience continued into late hours, he would always have some juice to ward off sleepiness. What kind of juice? Tomato juice.
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister. Mister! I know nothing about it. Nothing. Nothing at all. Witness, what have you done this time? Don't give me that scary look, Inquisitor Barnham. It was only just a little bit. Seriously, hardly anything at all. What are you talking about? What do you think I'm talking about? The juice. The tomato juice, of course. The tomato juice. Oh, you didn't. Surely even you wouldn't. Oh, that's why he fell asleep. Isn't it? He drank the tomato juice, which was drugged, and he fell asleep. And the alchemist had red tomato juice trickling out of his mouth, which was drugged. I see. When I woke up, my head was pounding, that's why I went to see the alchemist. But you know what happened? And when I was left alone in the alchemist study, it kinda caught my eye, the bottle I mean. The tomato juice. I thought it might make the headache go away, you know? So you drank it, the juice for other crimes. This dude. Well, why shouldn't I? It's a drink, ain't it? What else do you do with a drink? Drug it. You drug it. You drink it, right? You drug it with narcotics is what you do. And can you tell us where that bottle is now? Come to think of it, I don't remember seeing it at the crime scene. It has been confiscated. Confiscated. As I mentioned previously, the occult crime analysts confiscated all of Master's personal belongings from the crime scene. That's so. Well, I believe we should take note of that bottle and add it to the court record. Brought to Belgium before his death, Emir drank some of the juice the following day. Yeah, so there was having a bit of juice when that girl came round. To tell you the truth, I don't quite remember what happened after that. That's when he passed out, huh? Yep. After Belgium was what? Anyway, look for the letter. Left as soon as I found the letter. That courier sure is committed to her work, or maybe just plain crazy. You're right, this testimony raises more questions than it answers, doesn't it? The Belgian wrote that letter the night before his death, and yet now it's blank. That's a mystery, alright. But there's something else unusual in what she said. When she said that guy fell unconscious at the crime scene, she meant Mr. Mia, right? He said himself that he felt a surge of drowsiness at the time, but really... Everyone believes in a lie, then it becomes reality. Maybe it's worth looking into the reason behind that drowsiness. Yes, that's what I've been... Yes. Thank you. Right, look, there's a certain piece of evidence that might be rated. Yes, I know, I know. Okay, let me present it, I guess. Just need to figure out where... yes.
Hold it!
This one, I guess. He went out like a light. He was helping me look for the letter, and then it happened. Out of the blue, he just passed out, the rascal. He collapsed, and his eyes rolled back. He wouldn't move. Almost sounds like he died. No such luck, unfortunately. That horrible sound. He was grating his teeth. I thought my ears would explode. Yeah, not sure what came over me. Never happened to me before, sleeping like that. You know, I didn't just fall asleep. More like I sort of blacked out, I guess. No idea why. Oh, you guys, what do you think? Any ideas? I think it bears no relevance. And here and there you have my honest answer. And I think it's good that I wasn't there. Why did he black out like that? I've got evidence. It's called tomato juice. Okay, how late is it anyway? Oh, it is 8 p.m. I guess we're gonna present the evidence. And then end stream. How does that sound? Really? You work it out, Bluey. That's the case. May the defense present some evidence. Which piece of evidence shows why this man fell unconscious?
Take that!
Mister, I believe the reason you might have lost consciousness at the crime scene is tied to a certain piece of evidence. But was it just because, you know, I had been too much fun the night before? No, it was because of this. The tomato juice. You passed out right after drinking this juice. Don't rock with greed and die over a petty change. What are you quoting, Cecilia? What are you quoting? Therefore, it is not unreasonable to assume that there is a direct connection between the two. Tomato juice does not make people fall unconscious, Sir Blue Knight. No, but drugged tomato juice does. Exactly, that's why something must have been added to the contents of that bottle. Cipher? That doesn't tell me anything. What cipher? Whose cipher? Why cipher? Which cipher? How cipher? Something like a soporific. Wow, I have not heard that word before. But okay. Too bad for me. You mean sleep medicine? And if a soporific was mixed in with the tomato juice, that means Sir Belduc would have been unconscious at the time he was assailed. Demigod of trickery? My first thought is Honkai Star Rail, and then I have no more ideas. Oh, the sketch. Have another look. The red liquid trickling down from the big... Yep, you got it, Mr. Judge. It's proof that Sir Belduc must have drunk the tomato juice. I'd failed to consider this. Inquisitor Barnham, I bet you remember saying this to the court. I do know, after all. Can you imagine anyone just sitting in bed and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly, there should be evidence of a struggle. Yes, but there was no struggle. However, if the victim was unconscious when his assailant was strangling him, then the killer could have committed the crime through a small portal big enough to put their arms through, after all.
Objection!
That may be so, but tell me this. How could the culprit have managed to obtain such a strong soporific? Butler, in an alchemist's home. It was very simple, and I think you've realized why. From the alchemist. Exactly. That's right, an alchemist would no doubt have a wide array of various medicaments in their possession. And an apprentice would have little trouble stealing some of them from their study. You started playing 15 minutes ago? So basically around the time I usually end my Sunday streams. I'll be done soon. Isn't that right, Mr. Grail? Oh, Miss Grail. Mr. Grail, whatever. How should I respond to that? I'm sorry to disappoint you, may perhaps be the best way to put it. What do you mean? Even though that juice bottle has been safely stored for the past 3 months, I'm positive it would be impossible to find any traces of that soporific now. Dream time is time to continue story. Fair. You wicked... This is unbelievable. Was it really the butler who did it? But everything she says holds true. Just pretending to be a boy, that's mighty suspicious to start with. Is she a witch? Everyone just gets tinnitus from her voice. Hold on, everyone. Okay. Okay, enough. Enough. Enough, I say. I'm going to save. I'm going to save. There was not a single puzzle today. How disappointing. No, it's fine. We expected that. Okay. Oh gosh, we will continue this next Sunday. Next weekend is the... Yes, we're still streaming next weekend. So the usual... I will just do what I've been doing, right? Odyssey Saturday, this game on Sunday, at the usual time. What do I say at the end of this? Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, especially Cecilia. I'm not holding you at gunpoint to be here with me, definitely not. Have a lovely time, so hopefully see you next week. Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye.